Another one. My God. My throat is turning into hamburger meat all over again. The San Diego Padres and the guttural scream. They're a very exciting baseball team. They make me very excited. I'm very happy. Very, very happy with our local baseball club. Welcome in, everybody. Ben and Woods, 97.3, The Fan. So lovely to be here on a Thursday. Let's get our heads right as best we can. Today is also Roundtable Day, which means on Roundtable Day, I get up at about 2 a.m. every single Thursday. It happens like clockwork.
Your dedicated prep for the Roundtable. You like to...
I think it's more my
think about some of your answers in advance.
It's more of my dedicated anxiety about it.
Now, we're working longer today. You could have gotten extra rest.
That's always the plan is to do that, but it never happens. It seemingly every Thursday is the day that I get up at 2 and I'm like, ugh, and I just am have this dread. And then as soon as the roundtable's over, I go right to the trainer, where he just beats me up.
I dread the trainer. Why? I don't know why you dread the Roundtable.
I don't
Okay.
dread it per se.
It's like it ends up being you have to answer like 6 questions over the course of an hour.
It's just I don't know what it is. I don't necessarily dread it, and I've said it before. I like it. I actually have fun.
You do
because I don't get to see everybody all the time, and I like that part of it. But there's just something about. I think it's the show leading up to the Roundtable. You know what I mean? It's all of it. It's all encompassing. It's just knowing you got a long day with a bunch of stuff to do every friggin' Thursday, man. It is 2 a.m. and I wake up and I am just wide awake, just ready to roll. Like, here we go. I made a full breakfast, the whole bit, man. I've been up for 4 hours right now. 4 hours. Freshly shaven, the undercarriage here, right here. That bottom part. Freshly showered and ready to go. It's just weird. Happens every week. Well, welcome in. I'm Woodsy. That's Paul Reinl, the executive producer of the program. Good morning, Paulie.
Hey, how are you?
Benjamin R. Higgins, your friendly neighborhood sports anchor, sports and news anchor.
I watched you for like 5 minutes yesterday.
How did you do?
5 of the 3.5 hours I was on last night.
You did really good tossing to a commercial break after weather.
Oh,
and then you did really good after Marie Cornell's story on tariffs impacting local sports merch.
Equipment going up in price even more.
I haven't heard about this. Fill me in.
Most of the stuff that you buy is probably going to be imported. All the gear,
right? Like what kind of gear?
Custom T-shirts, whatever. Custom T-shirts.
Okay.
Team sweatshirts and stuff like that.
It's usually produced in another country, which means the already expensive process of outfitting your children for youth sports is only going to get pricier.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
It was a pretty standard news night. Kimberly Hunt was emceeing the State of the County address, and she had some stories on that. So we had that on, but yeah, the normal mix of news and features. There was one that really got me. There was a toddler in Sedona, Arizona, wandered away from their house and was gone like the whole night, like gone all night in the Arizona desert wilderness, hours, and they couldn't find the toddler. And somehow, after a search, like in the morning, a dog found this child by itself, and it curled up to protect it. I mean, what a sweet, good boy, what a good dog. And he was fine. He was okay, even though the searchers were they had the helicopters out, and the helicopter was radioed down to the searchers. Hey, there are mountain lions tracking you out there, so be careful.
Oh, my God.
We could see the mountain lions, but somehow the mountain lions didn't get this 2-year-old that had wandered away. Ended up going 7 miles.
Wow. A 2-year-old.
A 2-year-old, 7 miles in the Arizona desert. It was okay.
It's massively believable.
Just 7 miles from Sedona.
Right. Just 7 miles from his home.
Going for the Kung Pao chicken.
Here we're telling everyone how close 7 miles is. Those parents don't feel that 7 miles is all that close.
Right. Good point.
It's
man,
it's all about context.
Yeah. When
context matters.
It's so true. Just 7 minutes from our home. What do you mean just 7 minutes? Your 2-year-old wandered 7 miles from your house.
I mean, if you were at Petco Park at the game with your 2-year-old,
he leaves,
they're gone,
and he winds up.
Find them 7 miles.
Wait, just to confirm, the 2-year-old's okay, right?
Yeah.
2-year-old's fine.
Okay, I don't feel bad then.
So Tej says, where were the parents? All right. I'm not defending that. I'm not defending it. I'm not. But until I had kids, I was the guy that would say, and TJ has kids, so I wouldn't be like, where were those parents? Like, you're so exhausted. And I don't know the circumstance. I know nothing. They could have been absolutely negligent turd parents, right? They absolutely
I don't
could
think
have.
they were. It just somehow wandered kind of out the backyard and gone. I mean,
Gone.
yeah, there was some sort of not paying attention for a moment going on, certainly. But
the hardest part about being a parent now is knowing how much leash to give, how much rope to give them, right? Like Bo now is 7 and he's a little man. Like he is a little man. He's responsible. He has his little gizmo watch where he can, if something happens, he can call me on his gizmo watch, rings right to my phone. He can text me, which is, it's sweet. It's also like, all right, I get it, but yes, hi, good morning to you. Hello.
It was really fun a few months back when we were out in Arizona when there was fantasy camp or spring training, and you and me would be in the car, and I would just hear like your watch because we'd be listening to music through your phone, through the speakers, and all of a sudden I just hear, "Hey, what's up, big fella?"
Yeah, it's Bo. He's sending me audio messages on his gizmo. So the thing is like, how much rope do you give him? So he comes in the other day and he goes, "Dad, can I go down to Cal's house to see if he's home?" And I go,
how far is Cal's house?
It's so maybe 10 houses down, up a little walkway, and it's right there on the corner. So
he knows where it is. He knows how to get there.
Yeah, it's an 80th of a mile.
Not busy streets or anything.
Live in a cul-de-sac, neighborhood, whatever. So I'm sitting there at the desk and I'm working, and he's like, "Can I run down to Cal's house?" And I go, it hit me. I was like, yes, but don't ride your bike. Walk. And he said, okay. And he said, "Why can't I ride my bike?" I go, "Because if you fall, you crack your head open, you break your leg." I said, "Just walk. So you stay on other people, like on the sidewalk and other people's. You just don't ride your bike. Just walk down there." And he said, okay.
Taking a little uncertainty out of the mix.
Taking a little bit of uncertainty out of the mix. But then there will come a time when it's, "Dad, me and my friends want to go ride our bikes." And I'm like, okay. Or no, I don't really. You're 9, you don't need you out. But I think about when I was 9 and 10 years old. I know it's different now too. It's different. So I don't know. It's the hardest part about being a parent is like, obviously you don't give a 2-year-old any rope. You're supposed to watch them at all times. I mean, I can't tell you how many times though, like you're holding your eyelids open to try to stay awake as your 2-year-old is like playing in a playpen. And then all of a sudden one day your 2-year-old climbs out of said playpen and you don't really realize it because you're doing something else. I'm sympathetic to him. And I'm so glad that kid's okay.
I was talking to my wife the other day.
It's crazy.
Is it kind of true? We don't have kids. Like sleepovers are no longer a thing.
Yeah, they're more rare than they used to be.
When I was growing up, it was every weekend you were
pretty much
having somebody over, or you were going over to somebody else's house on a Friday night. It was no big deal.
Yeah, pretty much.
And none of my friends that have kids, like they're like, "Oh yeah, we don't do that." And I go, "Yeah, the world's changed a lot in the last 25, 30 years."
It has. It absolutely has. And I never, nothing weird or untoward ever happened at any of my sleepovers. Not that it would with Bo either. We know the parents and everybody pretty well, but Paulie, it's the constant paranoia. It's just constant.
Have we become too suspicious of other people? At some point we weren't suspicious enough, but now as the pendulum swung too far, and now we suspect everybody of, nefarious activities.
Well, the other thing too is like, I don't know let's say Bo has a new friend, and this is a hypothetical. He has got a new friend, and I've seen the dad and the mom. I've met him, whatever, but he's really tight with the kid, and he goes over and spends the night. I don't know if that dad leaves pills around, or or God forbid, the worst thing. Like, I have no idea. So yeah, man, I'm a little bit more judicious about it. I'm pretty suspicious all the time. I watch enough. We all see enough of the internet on a daily basis to go, all right, there's a lot of creepy people out there. When I'm driving to pick them up from school, if I see some straggler, you guys remember I reported the kid's grandfather. Remember that? I pull up to Bo's preschool. Remember this? I pull up to Bo's preschool and I see this old man lurking around, and he's not going in. He's lurking around behind the bushes. And I'm like, I know what I came to do. I know what's happening here. This is absolutely creepy. Well, he was a grandfather. He was waiting on his granddaughter to come out so he could surprise her. And I went right to the lady. I was like, hey, there's an old creep out there walking around. When I drive to pick them up from school, my head is on a swivel, dude, looking around that neighborhood. I'm always looking around that neighborhood like, what's that guy doing? What are you doing? Why are you peering over the fence, bud? I'm just that way now. Like I'm conditioned that way.
Alex says the human psychology of risk analysis is deep.
Yeah, dude. I just look. Sorry, if I see an old man creeping around a preschool, I'm gonna say something like every single time.
Squirrely says you thought he was a crumb bum.
I did. I thought he was a crumb
creep.
But yeah, I feel terrible for those parents, man. I really do. It is. It's what a horrible feeling. If you've ever lost your kid for,
but if someone thought of that about, should I send my kid over to Bo's to have a sleepover?
Yeah.
You know that kid would be as safe as your own child.
100%.
You take great care of them. There'd be no problem whatsoever.
Yeah.
But, you probably have other parents. I don't know what goes on over at the Woods house. They never let anyone in at all.
We don't let anyone in our home.
There could be really dark activities going inside there.
Our sex dungeons and whatnot that we have in our home. Right.
It's not just them. You don't know their neighborhood. You don't know their neighbors.
Yeah,
you don't
dude.
know.
It's dungeons plural, like 3.
Yeah, we have a few. Yeah, we have one underground. And then one.
You're a crumb creep.
Yeah. Oscar says Woods is a Ken. I'll wear it. I will. I'll wear it. When it comes to my kids, yeah, I'm a little bit of a Ken. I do like to give a little. I tell Hannah and I always have the conversation of like, hey man, they're gonna fall off their bike, they're gonna fall off their skateboard, they're gonna get hit with baseball bats and balls. Like they need to be boys and they need to fall down and skin their knee. We can't protect them from everything, but I feel like being on high alert for pedophiles doesn't necessarily make me a Ken, just more of a concerned dad. And so, yeah, I'll if that makes me a Ken, then a Ken I am. If I'm always looking for some creep that's looking to throw my kid in a van, yeah, all right, I'll wear it. It's like my greatest fear that somebody does something to my kid.
I feel like I can't even buy a van. Really,
you are not allowed to buy a van.
Vans are too creepy.
Vans are too creepy. 100%. Buy an SUV.
You have a van.
We have a Sprinter van.
It's a van.
It is a van.
It's a van.
That's true. But no, I'm. Yeah, Schultz Creek says, my boy's 5 he rides his electric bike up and down the street all day long, hates being inside. Bro, mine too. We keep them on the street, keep them in the cul-de-sac, let them do their thing. But we're constantly kind of checking on. We'll let him outside. Like Bo can go outside by himself with his friends for a little bit. And I'm about every half an hour kind of poking my head out, making sure. Well, also like they're not beating each other up or doing anything stupid. And they'll take the hose and leave the hose on, like dumb stuff that kids do. So you do have to check, but I feel horrible for those parents. Horrible. Like what a terrible, if you've ever lost your kid for more than a second, you know that feel. You ever lose yours when you were a kid?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Just for a brief, like 15 seconds.
15 seconds is enough.
Around.
It feels like an eternity. It feels like you walk in to check on them. They're not in their room and they were supposed to be in their room. And you're like, where is that dude? Taylor was in the backyard hitting off the tee before he could walk. It was crazy. He crawled his ass outside and started hitting off the tee or something. Like it's not a good feeling. But anyway, well, thanks for that story, Ben. I'm glad that the kid's okay. I need to look that up, actually.
Yeah, someone actually did look it up, and even the kind of dog in Anatolian Pyrenees that found the kid. And,
that's so
rad. Protected the kid. Like this seems wrong. I'm going to go protect this child, which is unbelievable.
Yeah, no question. Yeah, Ryan Schimpf enjoyer. I also was a Ryan Schimpf enjoyer. Says, we all were for a time there. He says, people are afraid of random strangers swooping up their kids, but that's like so rare.
It is.
It's most of the time it's people right? And that's the scary part. But hey, man, like I said, I don't live in fear of it, but I am on alert for it. And I think a lot of parents are. I am constantly assessing the situation pretty much everywhere I go.
All right. Why don't we get things started? Because when we come back, not only will we set the menu for what is a fairly busy Throwback Thursday, but Paulie had a good idea. Let's get right to our throwback clip for the day, because he's got one that's a fun one from the pandemic era Ben and Woods program.
Plus, God, I feel like we just did this. Time is flying, man. Oh my God.
Plus, we have a bit of a show announcement to get to in our next segment as well. we'll explain why we're making the announcement and why there's a bit of a change in our weekly lineup in our next segment. But we do have a pretty good show for you. Obviously, we will talk about another Padres victory yesterday. Just a solid win for your San Diego Padres. In a game we talked about yesterday, Woods, felt like was an important one to split the season series, to end the homestand on a high note and not hit the road on a 2-game losing streak. And they did everything that you could ask. Nick Pivetta was terrific. We will talk all about that coming up. We'll get Kelly's traffic, and then we are off and running on a Throwback Thursday, a Roundtable Thursday, a Victory Thursday with Ben and Woods and Paul on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. First, though, we want to tell you about trustandwill.com. You do not want to die without some legal documents to protect you and your family. I don't care how old you are. Woods and I are in our 40s and late 40s, yes. But, we went through the process over the holiday and realized, okay, this is dumb that we haven't done this, because it's so easy to set up a will or a trust that lays out your wishes if something even down the line should happen to you, as it's going to happen to all of us eventually.
Trust and will was made for people like me. People that was like, man, I got to do this. They keep it so easy, and they make it so easy. You sit down in your office. It takes you 20, 30 minutes to knock out. Directions they hold your hand through the whole thing. And, I'm a bit of a boomer. I kind of needed that.
Easier than doing your online taxes.
Yeah, I've never done my online taxes, but I can imagine. Trust and will, super easy to do. Make sure you avoid probate and get a trust. No reason to get this, not to get it done in just 20 minutes. Just go to trustandwill.com.
And you can avoid fees possibly that are involved in probate court. Yep. And it's affordable. There's no lawyer to get involved, no billable hours. Simply go to their website, trustandwill.com. And when you check out, use the code FAN, F-A-N. You're going to get 20% off at checkout. Free shipping of your estate documents after you go through the process. Just the peace of mind alone is absolutely worth it. Go to trustandwill.com. That's trustandwill.com.
Hey players, things are about to get real here in San Diego. Introducing the all-new Jamul Casino Resort. With a 200-room hotel tower, exciting new eats and drinks, plenty of new places to play, and a luxe spa and salon. Hello, rooftop pool and deck. It's where players can play their hearts out and enjoy all the perks that come with it. It gets real this summer at the all-new Jamul Casino Resort, the players' place.
All right, I'll tease our special announcement just for another minute or two because I want to get to our Throwback Thursday clip. A little early today, but we do have a busy show planned for you. Paulie always digs into the archives on Thursdays to find moments from the show that happened on this day or this week. And today we're going back 5 years into the, really into the meat of our Corona Cave pandemic. We were about, 3 or 4 weeks now into broadcasting live from the my parents' guest house, which was our Corona Cave.
I can still feel the chill in my bones.
Yeah, it was cold. It was cold. I guess it didn't have heat or didn't work or something, but it was freezing in there most mornings.
I mean, like work. I worked in a gas station one time, and I would have to go back and stock the freezer, and you'd have to go, gloves, jacket, the whole bit, and you go back there and you're stocking beer and stuff. And it was miserable. I remember walking in the Corona Cave and going, what? It feels like the walk-in. Walk-in cool. You worked in many a kitchen.
Oh, yeah.
You probably go to the walk-in, you're like, you got to brace yourself. And we did 4 hours in that walk-in every day. Finally, your mom brought in like an old space. There's no heat.
I guess not, or it wasn't working or something. So we'd sit at opposite ends of this kitchen table and set up the equipment, and we did the show for months and months from the Corona Cave, which is, it's in kind of semi-rural Rancho Santa Fe area. So outside the door, it was dark and kind of, you couldn't see any light. I mean, we were felt very isolated at the Corona Cave.
It was weird, dude.
Sometimes even a little spooky feeling out there.
Big time.
And that brings us to our clip from 5 years ago when both of us were startled by a very unexpected moment.
Do you remember a guy named Dan Cortez?
Whoa. What was that?
You guys
It
okay
was a
over
bird that flew into the window and is now
dead.
perfect. Maybe it's just stunned.
Great.
Yeah, that's sad.
Oh, that's just
No, it's getting up. It's getting up. It's stunned.
Oh,
it's just a bit of a
man.
concussion.
Oh, that's sad.
Going into concussion protocol.
Oh my God! Just flew into
Here. Just come on. Let's go, Birdie. You can do it. Come on, get
I
up.
can't-
There
I
we
can't
go.
even
Come on.
look.
Okay, the right wing we may have an issue.
Play-by-play on a dying bird.
No, it's okay. It's just needs a second.
Go love on him a little bit.
No, might carry the coronavirus or
Fair
something.
enough.
I'm just gonna stay
That
inside.
scared me to death.
Yeah, that was a bit nervous. It doesn't happen usually in our Intercom Empire studios.
No, it doesn't.
All right.
My heart's racing right
Oh
now.
my God.
Scared me to death,
Yeah.
dude.
So scary.
I kind of want to know why we were talking about Dan Cortez also.
Yeah, I love Dan Cortez.
Do
You remember a guy named Dan Cortez? He was on that.
Who was Dan Cortez?
He was on MTV, but he was on.
I mean, we were right next to that window.
Right there.
I mean, the sound over the air does not do it justice.
He hit it hard, bro. You ever walk into a wall
5
or
or
a-
6 feet away from
Yeah,
us.
I mean, he hit it really, really hard. Dan Cortez was in one of the best Seinfeld episodes ever. He was the cool guy that was dating Elaine,
Yes.
and George fell in love with him
Yes.
and would make him sandwiches and stuff, and they would go rock climb. I can't remember his name in it though.
Oh.
Step off, George. Step off. No, Tony. No, Tony. Please don't say step off. It was so the Mimbo. That's right. He was a Mimbo. He was brilliant. I follow him on Instagram.
A male bimbo.
Male bimbo.
Right.
He was great. He was a Mimbo. Dan Cortez. Yeah, that's so weird. I
Played
don't-
Tony, the ultra cool,
Yeah.
good looking, rock climbing boyfriend
Yes.
of Elaine.
Oh, Tony, don't say step off. Step off? You want me to step off? It's brilliant. Brilliant. I don't know why we were talking about him, though. I have no idea.
We were talking about a lot of random things.
We were.
back in those days with no sports.
We still do. So
That's true.
I just learned I share a birthday with Dan Cortez.
get out of town.
September 14th,
Oh,
baby.
man. He's a good follow on Instagram. He's doing good.
Get him on the show.
I would love to. In a heartbeat, Paulie. Set it up.
All right.
Ben's gonna be out next week. Get Dan Cortez on the line. All right.
What else is he?
What else? Yeah, this is when we get to explore the space a little bit. So Dan Cortez next week, Ben and Woods, make it happen.
So here's what we've got coming up for you on the show today. Obviously, we've got our Padres wrap up in the next segment. We'll talk about the win over the Cubs yesterday, but we have a trio of guests joining us on this Thursday, including moving up from Fridays to Thursdays now, officially going forward, is in-season Sammy. Sam Levitt's going to join us at 7:35. He's going to be a Thursday complement to our Smart Baseball Thursday with Eno Saris, which is going to continue at 8:35. So you might be asking why did we move Sammy from Fridays to Thursdays, Fridays to Thursdays? Well, a couple of reasons. We get some more Padres talk in on a Thursday. I think that goes well with Eno. But on Fridays, we're going to have a new regular guest. And I'm sure we will talk some baseball with him. But we also want to follow a little more closely our new soccer team, the San Diego FC of the MLS, are 8 games into their franchise history. And joining us now on a weekly basis on Fridays will be the great Darren Smith every single Friday. So we carved out some time for Darren to join us to talk some soccer and whatever else is going on in San Diego sports. And he's kindly agreed to join us throughout the summer, which, got the new role as one of the voices of the team.
Yep.
So I think that's a great fit for us on Fridays, in addition to our manager's report and other Padres stuff that we'll have going on at the end of the week.
Yeah, can't wait, man. Talk to Darren, was fired up to do it. He's doing a podcast now. He's out there. So I called him. I said, this just makes way too much sense. He goes, yeah, I agree 100%. So he'll be joining us every Friday. Super excited about that.
We're also going to have an in-studio guest today in our final hour before the roundtable. Woods, of course, made the announcement earlier this week that he is stepping down as the public address voice of the San Diego Seals. And tomorrow night will be your final game. And it is also a huge game for the Seals. It's a must win. Win and they're in the playoffs, lose and they're done. The season is over. So it's essentially a playoff game at Pechanga Arena. And joining us in studio to talk a little Seals and talk about Woods' tenure with the team is going to be their head coach, Patrick Merrill.
Love Patty, man. I'm going to be emotional. I'm telling you.
I know you will.
I'm very
so
emotional.
that's coming up in our 9 o'clock hour. I have our regular features, of course, including Don't Do This, A Real or Fake, on a Throwback Thursday at 8:20 for your chance to qualify for the trip to Las Vegas. Rindle Report, and I believe Scraby didn't give them away yesterday, so we do have our Warren Haynes Band tickets to give away later in the program as well. So that's the menu for a Thursday. We'll start, though, with all the highlights with Tony and Jesse. Yesterday's win to wrap up a 5-1 homestand for your San Diego Padres. Coming up next with Ben and Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
46 gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. GEGE 000466. For a full list of games and rules, played at 7 Mile Casino. Visit 7milecasino.com.
Little remix there for you on a Thursday morning. Like we've already gotten a mention in for 7 Mile Casino this morning, and no, this is the real 7 Mile. Yeah. Now this feels close,
very close when you're driving down the
when you're driving down the 5 and
you're 2-year-old walking.
You're meaning to go there. You're like, hey, I got here and no problem. No problem at all. Just 7 minutes from downtown San Diego. Many, many reasons to love 7 Mile Casino. If you're a high-limit player, they can absolutely take your action and take good care of you there. They got Pai Gow Poker, they got Baccarat, they got Texas Hold'em, and my beloved California-style Blackjack.
Yeah, day off today for our baseball team, so this is a good day to check it out if you haven't been down there. Make a day of it. Go down for dinner at Sammy's. Maybe have a cocktail with friends out on the patio overlooking San Diego Bay. If the weather is nice, what a great view. And then you stick around, obviously, to check out the friendly dealers, the comfortable chairs, the TVs all over the place, the windows. I mean, it is not like any other card room I have ever been in. It is different. It is just better. It's better. I wish other card rooms were like 7 Mile Casino because you feel good when you're in there without the smoke, without the slot machines. I like the clinking of the chips. That's the only sound really you're going to be getting while you're in there at 7 Mile Casino. Please take it from Ben and Woods, hop on the 5, head down to Bay Boulevard in Chula Vista, west side of the freeway. Check it out today. 7 Mile Casino, just 7 minutes from downtown.
Hey players, things are about to get real here in San Diego. Introducing the all-new Jamul Casino Resort. With a 200-room hotel tower, exciting new eats and drinks, plenty of new places to play, and a luxe spa and salon. Hello, rooftop pool and deck. It's where players can play their hearts out and enjoy all the perks that come with it. It gets real this summer at the all-new Jamul Casino Resort, the players' place.
People seem to be reacting well to our big announcement. Darren Smith going to be joining the programs every Friday. But we won't be changing the manager's report. That is also going to come your way tomorrow. And you can... Were you saying something?
I said, hey, boy.
Oh, yeah. Tune into the manager's
report. How you doing?
Good. With that guy, Mike Schilt. Tomorrow at 9 a.m. on Ben and Woods, the manager's report is refreshed by Eco Water SoCal. Try alkaline water for just $9.95 a month. Eco Water SoCal, keeping it soft since 1925. All right, you ready to talk a little Padres baseball?
Been waiting.
I like that game yesterday. Padres Grap Up coming up right after a check of traffic on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danek.
Big improvement in speeds eastbound 8. They've reopened lanes between Waring Road and College, wrapped up their investigation of that overnight fatal accident. So, yeah, you're in much better shape heading to Mission Valley at this point. Northbound side of the 5, clearing an accident from 28th Street off-ramp. Seeing a little residual slowing north 805 toward this earlier accident near Imperial. I'm Kelly Danek with Ben & Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
I love winning, man. I love winning. You know what I'm saying? It's like better than losing.
Miss any of the Padres win yesterday? Ben and Woods didn't.
Yeah, absolutely.
We've got you covered with all of the highlights.
Oh, yes.
It's the
Padres Grap Up.
Brought to you by Jamul Casino Resort. Things are about to get real with the all-new Jamul Casino Resort with gorgeous rooms and exciting new eats and drinks. It gets real this summer at Jamul Casino Resort, the players' place.
I want to go fast, but I want to go slow, and I want to go deep.
0-1 to Tucker. Pavetta kicks and delivers, and this one hit in the air to left field, straight away, fairly deep but playable. Should get the run home. Gonzalez circles underneath of it, makes the catch. Kelly tagging on his way. The throw cut by Machado. A sacrifice fly for Kyle Tucker, and a 1-0 lead for the Cubs. 2 on and 1 out for Fernando. Padres down 1-0 in the third inning. And a big-time opportunity as Tatis grounds one slowly to the right side. Warner sliding to his left, bobbles, throws to first, not in time, and Diaz scores to tie the game. It was going to get the run home no matter what, but the little bobble combined with Fernando's speed allows Tatis to reach safely. It's a 1-1 game and an RBI single for Tatis. With a full count, Tatis and Wade will be on the move. 3-2 to Manny. The pitch from Boyd swung on, grounded sharply through the left side and a base hit. Wade's on his way home. Fernando to third. Machado an RBI single, and the Padres ahead. It's 2-1. Pitch coming. Manny rips it in the air down the left field line. Hooking. That's a fair ball. Going to go to the corner. Wade is speeding towards third. He'll be waved. The throw comes in to Swanson. No chance for a relay. An RBI double for Machado. And the Padres do add on. It's 3-1. Next pitch to Crow Armstrong. Sent in the air. High and deep to right field. Fernando is at the wall. Looking up. It's going to go. Home run. Pete Crow Armstrong. And all of a sudden, that run the Padres got last inning, absolutely huge. It's now 3-2. Pitch swung on and missed, strike 3. None of that matters because Wandy Peralta's changeup is filthy. Cubs get one on a homer by Pete Crow Armstrong. 3-2. Runners go. The pitch to Tatis. Inside, ball 4. Fourth walk of the inning issued by Luke Little. This one plates Hayward, and the Padre lead is 4-2. Padres trying to finish the homestand 5-1. Here's the pitch to Swanson. Swung on, grounded to shortstop. Rolls right to Xander. He's got it. Throw to first is in time, and the ball game is over. Padres with a 4-2 win over the Cubs here this afternoon. They take 2 out of 3 against Chicago. They move to 12-1 here at Petco Park and have started the 2025 season 15-4.
Yeah, well played all phases. Good series. Great homestand. Really good series. Nicky came out, threw the ball exceptionally well again. I just love everything he's doing. I love his stuff. Stuff's really good. Ton of strikes, dominated counts, both sides of the plate. Sweeper good, curveball good. I mean, he's got 3 quality pitches working. He's pitching. I like the way he competes, but also stays within himself and executes. He's done a tremendous job.
Woo, man, these boys, I'm telling you, it is they're quite a marvel to watch on a daily basis. And you see the lineup come out and you go, oh boy, here we go, right? Like, oh my gosh, we are so banged up and missing this guy, missing that guy. Oh, no problem. Tyler Wade comes in yesterday. We're all in here wringing our hands over, oh, man, can you really give him a start against a tough lefty like Matthew Boyd? Maybe you could do this. Maybe you could do that. Tyler Wade says, no, I'm going to get on base 4 times. Set it up. Manny Machado comes in, drives in a couple big runs, makes a couple really nice plays with the glove, as he usually does. The rest is history. Fernando Tatis Jr. putting together, one of the best ABs you'll see to a very – people were talking a lot about that AB that he took Ben to walk in, drive in that run. Because he earned that one, right? That's an RBI that he absolutely earned up there. Your natural inclination with the bases loaded is to do way too much to expand your zone. That's what the pitcher is hoping you will do. I got to get this guy fishing. I got to get him out in front, whatever. I mean, he threw him 6 balls in that AB anyway, and he still managed to go up there and work a walk to drive in a big insurance run for this team. It's crazy. It's a crazy team to watch. It makes almost no sense.
All those things are true. It's definitely the feeling of whose turn is it to step up today.
Bless you.
Yesterday, Tyler Wade had his opportunity, but I think you have to start by talking about Nick Pivetta and what an insanely good pickup he seems to have been for the Padres late in free agency. Nick Pivetta looks like an ace. I mean, he doesn't look, they've slotted him in as he's basically the 4th starter when Darvish comes back, but he's looking like a good solid 1-2 type guy for the San Diego Padres. 3 now of his 4 outings have been outstanding. Yep. I mean, outstanding. And yesterday, 6 more terrific innings, only got in trouble the 1 inning and then minimized the damage. With bases loaded and Kyle Tucker coming up, I'm sure the Cubs are thinking, all right, we need to get, at least 2, maybe 3. This could be a big inning where we break it open. Holds him to the sacrifice fly, gets the double play to get out of the inning, ends up 6 strikeouts, 4 hits, just the 1 earned run. And the Padres did what they do. They answered right back with 2 runs in the bottom of the 3rd inning to take the lead for good. And it's just another example of the brand of baseball that the Padres have been playing under Mike Shildt. He said after the game, he kind of played with the reporters because they were talking about, Tyler Wade and, who was that? Was he the guy who stepped up and he goes, who do you think who do you think was
that made me laugh.
The biggest 2 guys for me in this game?
Who do you think it was?
And he goes,
so good.
Tatis and Machado. I mean, he gave his key stars a little bit of credit. He always likes to dig down in the roster and talk about all the ways everybody contributes down to the 26th man. But yesterday he goes, yeah, but really, it is Tatis and Machado, leading the way here and the kind of at-bats that they're putting together. And you mentioned the walk in which he took two pitches that were called strikes that weren't strikes and still managed to battle back, draw the walk with the bases loaded. He has gotten on base.
He started 0-2, right? On 2 balls?
I think it was 2-0. Then the next 2 were also off the plate, but were both called strikes. So it was 2-2 instead
he should have walked on 4
walking on 4 pitches. Then he had to foul off a few.
Yep.
Took a couple more balls and brought in that insurance run. He has reached base every game this season. All 18 games the Padres have played. Is that correct? No, they played 19 games. So he's reached base in the last 18 or whatever it is.
Setting the tone at the top of the order, getting on base, having mature ABs like that is just that's next level for Fernando Tatis Jr.
And Kyle Tucker had the longest streak. He had reached base in 19 straight games until yesterday. He did have a sac fly, but did not get on base. So now Fernando Tatis Jr. has done that. And that's not the kind of player we really ever have seen. Fernando Tatis Jr. was always the guy who, he'll give you that 3-for-4, 2 home run game. He'll do something spectacular in the field. He'll hit a bunch of line drives, but he's going to take his 0-for-4 with 2 strikeouts every couple of days, and that's fine because he was crushing the ball and he was producing. But now he's also the guy who gets on base every day and causes havoc on the base paths. And he's that gnarly at bat that, guys don't want to face. He's added a whole nother dimension to his game this season that makes him even that much more difficult to deal with for opposing pitchers. He's a nightmare right now. He is a nightmare, and he's up first. And I wasn't sure about it when Mike Schilt put him in the leadoff spot to start the season. Now I'm quite sure that this is the spot he needs to be in. Be that guy who starts it out every game, makes the other pitcher terrified, essentially. Now, he may swing at the first pitch, but that's part of his terror.
Yeah.
Like, I can't lay one in to get ahead in the count. Because, when those guys, who are going to take a few pitches and are trying to draw a walk, it's fine. If I'm the pitcher, all right, then I'm coming in and throwing a first pitch strike. I'm going to get ahead of you, and it'll be my at-bat. But you can't do that with Tatis because he's liable to hit it 480 feet if you do that. So they nibble, and guess what? Now he's laying off of it. Now he's getting in hitters counts. And you know what? All right, maybe he'll still, chase that slider. No, he's not doing that. So either I come in a 3-1 count or a 2-0 count and risk, again, 480 feet, or I will walk him and I risk him then stealing second and maybe third. I mean,
then you have
so dangerous right now.
You have the best contact hitter in the game behind him, and Manny Machado right behind him.
Yeah, man, it's it's such a dead horse at this point. But they talked about it a lot on the broadcast yesterday. It makes sense to bring it up again. And it was really evident that this brand of baseball that the San Diego Padres play was a nightmare for the Chicago Cubs. A nightmare. They kicked more balls around, never got good glove on it, fumbled the ball around. Padres took advantage. Padres did not take advantage as much as they should have. Somebody said in the chat, and I agree. The Cubs really gave you every reason to sweep. Now, I'm not in here this morning saying you should have swept. I'm saying you had some opportunities. Cubs did not play particularly great baseball, but I also attribute a lot of that to the San Diego Padres in constantly putting the ball in play, putting pressure on that team. And man, it just to watch that. And, they talked about it yesterday. Mudd said, look, putting the ball in play doesn't always work. You're going to have those games. You put the ball in play, they make the plays and you're out. And, it can backfire. He said, but so far, so good this season. The team doesn't strike out a ton. They're getting the ball to the left, to the right, making guys have to make spectacular plays. They're not making them, and they're just taking advantage of it. It is so freaking fun to watch.
I thought Tatis's at-bat in the third inning was very impressive. Saw a big hole on the right side with a runner at third base and just goes, all right, I'm going to just go with it that way, and hit a grounder that the second baseman had to run like 9 steps over, and
couldn't get him
with his speed. It turns into not only an RBI but an infield single as well. That's an arise at bat from Fernando Tatis Jr. He is so multi-dimensional now as a player. That's what makes you an MVP. And Fernando Tatis Jr. through the first 3 weeks of the season, I think is my MVP of baseball.
Yeah.
It's a long way to go. You got to stay healthy. You got to keep putting up numbers.
NL?
But of the NL.
Yeah.
Aaron Judge might be your MVP of baseball. He's awfully good as well. That's true.
He's over 400.
But in the NL, and how that award goes, they look for a team that's doing well, and the Padres clearly are doing well. But just another terrific performance. Bullpen got the job done. Obviously, Wandy gave up the home run, but I thought that was interesting as well. In the 8th inning, gives up the home run to Pete Crow Armstrong on his second pitch. So it's a 1-run game. It's 3-2. Gets the next couple of guys out, makes a nice defensive play. Wandy's a good defender out there.
Yep.
But then gives up the double. I think it was to Happ. So you got Kyle Tucker coming up. And I'm thinking,
put him on.
You put him on? Or are you going to go to Suarez? I mean, you're not going to let Wandy Peralta face Kyle Tucker in this situation. But Mike Schilt does.
He did.
He showed some faith in a guy who has pitched pretty well
That's
this
correct.
year. And he was rewarded for it. Struck out Kyle Tucker in that situation. That was a big moment in that game, and a big moment for Wandy Peralta, who's looked like a different guy as well out of that bullpen. And he's your, fifth or sixth best reliever, and he's been really good this season for the Padres.
They're whatever they're drinking, man, keep drinking it. It's crazy. Again, I watch this team every day, and there's a feeling that I have of that I haven't felt in a while of like, I'm not worried. They'll get it done. And if they don't, they'll get it done tomorrow. It's a weird space to be in for somebody that is a fan like I am. I just have a lot of confidence, and the focus for this team is on winning. It's on winning. It's not, I don't want to hit second. I don't get my numbers there. I want to hit third, or I should be doing this. No, we just want to win ball games. We want to win baseball games, and we want to win a World Series. I'm not saying they will win a World Series, Ben, but I'm saying the mentality, the execution is certainly there right now.
They certainly look like a World Series contender.
No question.
No doubt about that.
No question, man. It is just they're a marvel to watch right now. They're not doing it in a flashy way, like big, massive home runs, and they're just getting the job done. Very workmanlike. You know what I'm saying? They're just out there getting it done, getting the guys over, getting them in.
Very Schilt-like.
Very Schilt-like. Very, very Schilt-like. That's Schilty ball right there, man. It's pretty nuts. Everyone is just, they're there to win a baseball game every day. It's so refreshing in professional sports to see that. It really is.
So the Padres bounce back and split the season series with the Cubs, 3 games apiece. Both teams scored 25 runs in the 6 games. So very evenly matched season series. They won't see the Cubs again in the regular season. Possibly could meet them in October, but that's a long way off. But that was entertaining baseball against another team that people consider as a top 10 team in Major League Baseball, at least early in the season. And I would be remiss, because I pointed it out yesterday, even with no Aloha shirt giveaway on a Wednesday day game, work day, school day in April, over 41,000 fans, 11th sellout of the season for the Padres. No other team is doing that right now.
It's incredible. Yeah. Incredible. For the faithful really coming through.
Padres made a trade during the game.
They did.
Yesterday as well. We can talk about that move, and we'll get to Don't Do This and more in our second hour. All ahead. Sammy as well on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. Had a little notification from the Padres pop up during the game yesterday that they had made a move. Padres acquiring outfielder Bryce Johnson. And yes, it is the same Bryce Johnson who played for the Padres last season.
Switch hitter, by the way.
That's right.
Switch hitting Bryce Johnson.
We refused to acknowledge that for a few weeks.
One of our favorite moments from last season. Like, wait, he's a switch hitter? Oh, all right. Makes sense.
They also picked up some cash considerations from the Pittsburgh Pirates in exchange for catcher Brett Sullivan. Booty. Yeah, Booty is going to do his booty calls in Pittsburgh now.
Whoa. He's a married man. He's a married man with kids. He just is a new father.
Calls the game, puts down the signals, and calls
his
the
booty
game.
calls.
His booty calls. So Brett Sullivan, I guess the Padres feel good enough
booty
about
for Johnson.
About their catching depth at the moment,
right?
But not so great about their outfield depth, especially a guy who can play center field and bat from the right side of the plate, as well as the left side of the plate.
He's what you call in the business. Here's what we'll do. We'll have him hit from both sides. We'll call him a switch hitter.
Now, will he be joining the roster immediately? I have no idea if he's going to be in Houston for the trip, if he's going to be starting out there. If Tyler Wade earned himself another start with his performance yesterday. This all probably went down before saw what Tyler Wade did in that game yesterday.
All right, so who's sweating right now? Somebody's got to go because Brett Sullivan's not on the 26-man roster.
I think it was interesting to note yesterday that even though the Padres were facing a left-handed starter in Matthew Boyd, that Yuli Gurriel did not play yesterday.
Now, he's a little longer in the tooth. Could have just been a day off for Yuli.
He has a lot of days off when they face right-handed pitchers already. And the fact that he wasn't in there against a lefty, which is the only skill that he's being asked to bring to the table, is you are going to bat against left-handed pitching for us as a right-handed hitter, but he's hitting just over 100. My guess would be if someone's feeling nervous about a roster spot, that would be the first place that I'd go.
Now, our boy David J says he's not on the 40-man roster.
He's not.
Bryce Johnson.
No, but if you DFA'd,
he's been assigned to El Paso.
Yes,
what he says. Okay.
But he could be brought up if they DFA'd a player,
right,
and added both to the 40-man and 26-man if that player was on both, as is the case with Yuli Gurriel. I'm not saying they will. I'm just saying it was interesting that he wasn't in the lineup. Padres went with Connor Joe at first base, and then Oscar Gonzalez in left field, and of course Tyler Wade in center field for the game yesterday.
AKA Ken Griffey Jr. Tyler Wade after his performance yesterday.
Now, based on Schultz saying, it was only going to be either Hayward or Wade out there in center, one of those righties had to sit.
Yeah.
You can't play Gurriel, Gonzalez, and Connor Joe all at the same time. You don't have positions for all three. So one of them had to sit, right?
Yeah.
Well, especially with Arise serving as the DH.
Of course.
Which you wanted to get his bat in the lineup.
Gonna be, when I saw the move, I thought, oh, okay. This makes sense. A guy that can play center field. Like, that's what you're looking for right now. Switch hitter. If you like Tyler Wade out there against a right-hander every now and then, great. No problem. But yeah, look, Bryce Johnson's not a huge needle mover. He is a placeholder for when Jackson Merrill comes back. And I didn't read too much into it and think, oh, God, Jackson's not going to be back for months now. Bryce Johnson's going to be starting center
you
fielder.
saw him on the field yesterday. Yeah. He was doing a little bit of
dribbling.
Yeah, dribbling.
Yeah,
we talked about it yesterday.
Yeah.
Like a little fast stepping, not quite running or jogging, but was out there and moving. So he's not, in a wheelchair or anything. It looks like Jackson Merrill will be back. Probably not tomorrow, but, within the next week or so I would expect Jackson Merrill to be back off the injured list, and then it's a moot point. But clearly the Padres felt a little uncomfortable about their outfield depth to make that move.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. No big deal.
No big deal.
No big deal. Nothing to get worked up about.
But
either way,
we bring up things the Padres do on this show, and that was something they They did yesterday.
Bryce Johnson can run too. He's a speed and defense guy. Not going to light the world up at the dish, certainly, but again, can get a bunt down, do all the things that Schulte needs him to do, and play pretty good defense doing it. So absolutely fine with it. Brett Sullivan, good luck in Pittsburgh. Nice guy. Interviewed him last year. Great dude. Wish him very well.
I do. This hour on 97.3 The Fan is brought to you by Staples. Your local Staples has hot deals and super low prices throughout the store on everything for your business. And right now at Staples, save up to $250 off your print order. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details. Ends June 14th. Plus, save even more with the Easy Rewards program at Staples. So I know it's much too early in the season for really like standings checks every single day.
I look at it every single day.
But I do go to ESPN. It's fun to see the Padres on top of the standing. And then you can organize them by division, and then you can organize them by league, and you can also organize them just overall. Have a list of all 30 teams in Major League Baseball by record and winning percentage. And if you do that, you'll find that the best record in baseball, of course, belongs to the San Diego Padres, 15-4. The second best record in baseball right now belongs to the San Francisco Giants. They're 13-5. The third best record in baseball right now belongs to the Los Angeles Dodgers, 14-6. And the fourth best record in baseball at 11-7 belongs to the Arizona Diamondbacks, along with a few other teams who are also 11-7. But right now, and I don't know if this has ever happened like this far into a season, that the four teams with the best records in baseball all play in the same division.
Crazy.
It is mathematically very crazy for that to happen.
I don't look at it either as like a woe is me. You know what I mean? Like, of course, I just haven't felt that this year of like, of course, we're off to our best start ever. And then there's the Giants and there's the Dodgers. And
I absolutely feel that.
Do you? Mine's more.
How can you not?
Well, I'll tell you.
This is the year where everyone in the NLS is doing this well.
But I'm not fully on the other side either. I'm not fully on the other side of, I love this for baseball, man. This is badass. I love four guys just eating each, four teams just eating each. I'm not there. I'm just kind of in the middle, really letting myself enjoy this 15-4 start. That's kind of where I'm at. Watch the game, put the Dodgers game on last night, and it was home run derby. And Shohei goes deep. Freddie Freeman goes deep, just hit these tanks off Herman Marquez, and it's 7-1 when you look up. And I'm like, all right, well, I'm not watching home run derby tonight, so I turned it off. Then I looked at my phone like 20 minutes later, and it was 7-6. And I'm like, what in the world is going on with Bobby Miller? But woke up this morning to see the Dodgers did end up clinging to a one-run lead. And look, there's holes on all these teams. Each of these teams has holes. Who is going to be the one that falters and crumbles and goes away? Don't know yet. Hope it's not us. But I'm really just letting myself enjoy this 15-4 start. I'm not playing the crying game because they're also playing well.
I'm not going to cry. But I would say, like, if the Padres were in the AL Central right now, you could pretty much write their ticket to the playoffs. But because they're in the NL West, they're one bad week out of fourth place at the moment.
Yeah.
Because that's
true. That's the nature of the beast.
They're only 3.5 games up on fourth place right now. If they were in the AL Central, they'd be 5 games up on everybody. Almost like running away with it early in the year. But you're not going to run away with this division.
You're just not.
We knew that at the beginning.
The Dodgers are also one bad week away from being in 4th or 5th place.
If there's one team that's probably more worried than any of the four, it's got to be the Dodgers at this point, because they were supposed to be going to cruise this season.
We legitimately said on this radio program, you said it and I agreed, that you did not think the Dodgers would spend a day out of first place this year. And I agreed with you.
I thought spent weeks now out of first place.
I thought that they would run the table leading the West, and who knows, once you get to the playoffs, it's anybody's ball game. But I agreed with you fully. I was like, I'm massively surprised.
But even when they, first fell out of, first place, I still expected all season long, eventually the Dodgers will pull away. And I don't know that that's the case anymore, because even if not all the Padres, Giants, and Diamondbacks can keep up this good pace, odds are now likely that at least one or maybe a couple of them are going to, which means things will not be quite as simple for the Dodgers as we anticipated. Nothing changes for the Padres, Giants, or Diamondbacks. They always knew they were going to be in a dogfight going into this year.
Yeah, those three
teams, they all thought, all right, even if we play well, we know we're probably not winning the division. We're battling all year long for a wild card. Every game is hugely important. The Dodgers, whether they admit it or not, they probably went into the season going, we don't really need to worry about any other teams. We're just going to worry about ourselves, which is never a bad thing to do, to worry about yourselves. But they can't completely ignore the NL West now. They know that there's going to be some teams that are hanging with them, during the course of this season. They're not all going away. Maybe none of them are going away.
Yeah.
Because they all look like good teams. The Diamondbacks are a good team. The Giants, we haven't seen them yet. We're going to see them in about a week and a half at Petco Park.
Man, I've watched a little bit.
Seem like they're a pretty good team.
I did jumped on a podcast yesterday with this guy, Javi. It's called Locked On Padres. Good kid. He lives on the East Coast. You did it like 5 years ago. It was so long ago when he was just starting out. And I jumped on there with him yesterday, and we talked about the Giants a little bit. I think it's going to drop today. And we talked about Bob Melvin and when Bob Melvin was here. And we talked about Buster Posey taking over for the Giants. And I talked to some other people in baseball, and they said, this is such a good move. And I said, why? Why is this such a good move? Former player coming in, trying to change the culture there in San Francisco. Obviously, Buster Posey was instrumental in helping them change the culture when he was a player there, and they won a bunch of World Series with him as kind of the leader and the captain of the team. And I said, it's probably Bob Melvin let's be honest, he had a problem taking instruction from A.J. Preller. That's well documented. Probably doesn't have a problem taking instruction from Buster Posey. And Buster Posey comes in immediately. Farhan Zaidi, brilliant baseball mind. Rehired by the Dodgers, like he's a brilliant baseball mind. Bob Melvin, Farhan was like Bob Melvin Preller. Now you got a baseball guy in there. And for whatever reason, he's got these guys believing in themselves. They are not the most talented roster of the four. They're not the most talented pitching staff of the four. But they are
with Billy Bean too, right?
Yeah.
That's when he was in Oakland. So he's definitely that you played the game. I can work with you easier. Right?
At least history kind of dictates that.
I mean, we're making some
that mentality exists. I'm not necessarily
making some generalizations from what we've seen the results wise, but it does make some sense.
It definitely makes, and this is what people in some people in baseball told me. Like, this is just a better fit for Bob having Buster in there, and
Billy Bean was a very analytical guy.
Oh yeah,
he's a guy who played the game.
That's right.
You never seen a GM that was a player.
You always talk to players like this, man. You never saw a GM that was a player. So good. But no, they're a scary team for that reason. In their belief, their culture, they never, as an organization, they never stay down too long. They really don't. They are that kind of gravedigger popping up out of the coffin going, oh man, they're back and they're going to make some noise. We keep talking about litmus tests. Well, we just passed a litmus test at home against the Chicago Cubs, right? We passed that test. Going to be another one when we face the Giants, Ben. They're going to be another huge litmus test for the San Diego Padres because that is a division rival. You want to win those games, man. And it's going to be really, really interesting to see who's the team of the four that peters out eventually. I hope it's not us.
Got Don't Do This coming up next. In our Do This moment, it is a story we hear many times throughout the course of the season, but always one of Woods' favorites. And this one, I think, took it to the next level. So we'll get to that coming up next. Take a quick time out. Kelly's Traffic coming up here with Ben and Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. First, though, I'm going to tell you about sdfatloss.com. Summer is approaching. Good weather means shorts, T-shirts, bathing suits, going to the pool, going to the beach. You want to look your best. You want to feel your best. And you can do that by starting right now. Just jump into it. Make the call or go to the website, sdfatloss.com. Schedule your free consultation to find out how their program works. I went through the program. I lost 40 pounds in 60 days. Your results should be about the same, up to a pound of fat per day and 10 to 20% of your body weight in just 60 days by eating real foods, stuff from the grocery store, steak, chicken, fish, veggies. You prepare them, you eat them, you stick with it for a couple of months, new you on the other end. And because you're eating real foods, and this is the key, it's sustainable. So you're not just jumping off a bunch of bars and mixes and shakes at the end. You're just going to keep eating real foods. It's so much easier to keep that going afterwards. I've kept all the weight off for a year and a half. I think you can do it as well. So set up the free consultation, talk to their counselors. It's a doctor-developed, easy-to-follow program at sdfatloss.com. So many tier ones out there have lost so much weight, thousands of pounds. San Diego, I'm proud of you. Join the growing army of people who have lost so much weight with sdfatloss.com. That's sdfatloss.com. Results may vary.
Hey players, things are about to get real here in San Diego. Introducing the all-new Jamul Casino Resort. With a 200-room hotel tower, exciting new eats and drinks, plenty of new places to play, and a luxe spa and salon. Hello, rooftop pool and deck. It's where players can play their hearts out and enjoy all the perks that come with it. It gets real this summer at the all-new Jamul Casino Resort, the players' place.
Don't Do This is brought to you by Trust and Will.
Don't.
Leave your entire estate, house, kids, and life savings up to chance if and when you die.
Do.
Set up a Trust or Will online at trustandwill.com.
This
is a lot more affordable than you think. Visit trustandwill.com for more info. I'll start a sad story out of Alabama yesterday where two boats collided during a fishing tournament, killing 3 people. Not just any fishing tournament. This was Major League Fishing. Big tournament, $115,000 top prize. Second day of the event, officials with the Alabama Law Enforcement Agency say a bass fishing boat, which is kind of one of those pointy metal, ones you see on the trailers, collided with a center console type vessel, which is another kind of smaller boat with a console in the middle so you can walk around and fish off the sides. And the 3 people on that center console boat were killed. One of them instantly, 2 of them drowned after they were thrown overboard. They're investigating. They don't have all the details yet, but it sounds like the bass boat was like driving fast and just plowed right into this. Didn't see where it was going and plowed right into these other 3 guys that were all killed, which is just heartbreaking. The statement, Kathy Fennell from Major League Fishing. This is a heartbreaking moment for our entire organization. Our deepest condolences go out to the families and friends of those affected by this tragedy, and they canceled the rest of the competition.
Jeez, man, it's pretty scary on the water. It is. It can be really scary riding around on a boat, jet ski, whatever. You really got to keep your head on a swivel out there. It can get dangerous, man. That sucks. That's
boating
sad.
Safety is nothing to take
lightly for sure. Well, you spent a lot of time on the golf course, Benjamin. Have you ever seen a fight on the golf course, a brawl or a fight? People getting mad at each other, like groups, like separate.
Almost groups. At I believe our second annual Ish Ben and Woods Open. I think it was close to 1. I think, but no, I don't. I've never actually seen it.
Have you not? Like people? Have you seen people like?
I've seen arguments. Yes, I've seen certainly. A group hits into the group, and then the guys yell back, and like, "Hey, watch what you're doing. Pay attention." I've seen anger, but never an actual physical brawl.
This one in British Columbia. Guys were out there. It was a Monday night golf league. They say night, but it's dusk.
Canada, eh?
Yeah, in Canada.
The nicest brawl of all time?
No, this one was actually like one of the most hardcore golf brawls that you will see. Witnesses say slow play was the cause of the altercation. Blue shirt group hit into slower group, which led to one man suffering a broken jaw. There were shirts removed. That was a full-scale brawl. Like, it's on video. It's incredible video.
Where was this again?
In British Columbia.
Not at Augusta National.
Not at Augusta National. No, that they would be executed on the spot if that happened. But one guy broke his jaw. Like, it got into a full-scale brawl over golf. And I do think slow play should be punished, not necessarily with a broken jaw, but slow play should be punished. But here's what you can't do.
Just give me a second. Rate of play.
Killing us, guys. Yeah. What you can't do is this. These guys are playing so slow. Watch this. I'm just going to slam one into them. Like, that's the petulance of golfers. I'm one of them, but I am like, I'll wait.
There's no great solution, though. I mean, what they probably tell you to do at the course is alert the marshal.
Right.
Who will then...
You have to tattle.
Tell them. But then you have to be the tattler.
Then you're the tattletale.
Which doesn't feel good either. Like, you want to be able to handle things on your own. But otherwise, then you're driving up to them and what are you just driving up and telling them, hey, you guys are playing really slow. Speed it up or let us through. That's pretty aggressive as well. If someone drives up behind you in the cart, accusing you of slow play, and that's going to escalate the situation as well. There's not a lot of good ways to handle it when a group in front of you. It's usually you're just stewing behind them.
You're stewing behind them.
And getting madder and madder.
Your round is essentially ruined. You've wasted your money. Let's be honest. You were probably going to shoot a 110 anyway. Now you're going to shoot a 117. Anybody that's ever played golf with me, when we used to do the twice a week bogey brotherhood, if I was there in the group, we were playing slow. Not because of me, but because of who was inevitably in front of me. My life is Curb Your Enthusiasm. Everywhere I go, it was 4 people, that have never played golf before. It's their first round ever, and they had no idea of etiquette. And I would just be seething.
You would like pace, just pace.
But I wouldn't hit into them. I'd be like, hey, watch this. You could kill someone with a golf ball, right? Yeah. So you just sit and rot and wear it out. You just wear it, and it's the worst.
In Germany, they have a law. It's called the Platzreif, and you have to pass a test before you are allowed on the golf course.
That's maybe the greatest thing ever.
Yeah, you need a license. You have to take a 5-day course at least that involves training, get your license, and then you have to pass a series of playing, ability, rules, whatever tests before you can officially
before each round
allowed. No, just once. Just once. Like a driver's license.
What's it called? The Platzreif?
The Platzreif.
Great.
And then once you've got your Platzreif, you can actually play on a golf course in Germany.
Do you have any sample questions or anything?
There's a written test and a hands-on test. The hands-on test takes you out to the golf course. You got to prove your driving, putting, and chipping skills. Then you join a pro to play 18 holes.
Oh, my God.
You got to be able to break 108. So it's not like you have to be the best golfer in the world.
Yeah.
But you can't just be out there shooting 125. The written test checks your proficiency on rules and etiquette. If you miss 6 questions out of the 30, you failed. And it's all in German. So if you're like an American, you want to play golf in German, you have to learn German as well.
And get your Platzreif. I had no idea. I've never heard of that.
Yeah.
It's actually one of the more brilliant ideas that I've heard. It really will weed out to the casuals, because if a guy's like, I think I'd like to get into golf. Oh, but I have to pass the Platzreif. Never mind. I'll go play pickleball now. I'll go play anything but golf. That is amazing.
KG says Ben can cite a German golf law, but can't name someone who he sees every day at work.
Janine says, let's make an already insanely expensive sport more expensive. My counterpoint to that, Janine, is yes, it is expensive, but you feel like it's money well spent if you go out and you don't score well, but you still have a good time and you're moving through the course. When you spend $100 on a round and you're sitting and it's 8 hours because the people in front of you don't know what they're doing, that's excruciating.
Sounds like in Germany, they want you well trained for things, but once you are, they let you go. Like you get your driver's license, they let you drive as fast as you want.
Here's the Autobahn.
Like,
have a ball.
Hey, we know you're good at it because our standards are quite rigorous before we let you do anything here.
I kind of like this. I kind of like this a lot.
Yeah.
Platzreif.
The Platzreif. All right. Finally, do this. I know you love these stories.
DD mega
and we see them all the time. It's tradition when a major leaguer is down on a minor league rehab assignment that they get a spread.
I love this
for their teammates in the clubhouse. But Liam Hendriks, who is now with the Red Sox and on rehab assignment, took it to the next level. Gotta love Liam Hendriks. So he is playing for the AA Portland Sea Dogs, and they were on the road facing the Hartford Yard Goats. Not only did he get a food truck to take care of his own guys on his team, but he also said, hey, everybody on the Yard Goats, the other team, plus everyone who works at Duncan Park for the Yard Goats, their front office, their staff, their employees, all on me.
Class move.
Very classy move by Liam Hendriks. Said it still only cost him about $3,000 which for a major leaguer.
But for a minor leaguer, it's just the best.
He made like the days of probably 100 people yesterday.
That's so great, dude. I love those stories. I absolutely love those stories. I can't get enough of them. I need as many. I need a book full of these stories. That's what I want. I want a book.
I want AJ Preller to acquire Liam Hendriks
just for the bits,
just to have him on the team.
He's such a great.
I know
dude.
He's been hurt a lot recently, but it seems like a real cool dude. And that is don't and do this for a Thursday.
That was Don't Do This with Ben and Woods on 97.3 The Fan.
New time slot for in-season Sammy. He's going to be joining us Thursdays. He is coming up next. Somehow we have managed to wrangle away Sammy's only off day in a long time today. Get him working on our day.
Kid. Sorry,
he otherwise
Sammy.
Would be off, but he is going to join us in our next segment.
We did buy him an air fryer, though.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, for his home. This what is it called? Housewarming.
Yeah, housewarming gift.
Yeah. Speaking of homes, if you're a homeowner and you're a little bit underwater financially, how about calling Loan Pronto today? If you're looking to get cash out of your home's equity, maybe you want to refi out of a high rate or do the home improvement project that you've kicked around for a while, Loan Pronto can make it happen in a matter of days. Take advantage of this opportunity. Get tens or even hundreds of thousands out of your home's equity. That's your equity. You've earned it. Pay off all your credit cards. Pay off your car loans. Average homeowner now cutting their monthly bills by about $1,000. So you can get all the details you need at loanpronto.com. Just check it out. Inflation, higher costs put a lot of people in stressful financial situations these days. But again, if you do own your home, there's a way out. Loan Pronto has multiple options that can help you get the financial freedom that you deserve. Most homeowners get their cash in less than 2 weeks. Most don't even need an appraisal. Do the smart thing. Stop paying insane rates on your credit cards. Wipe them out. Get a lower mortgage rate, save some money, get some money for that home improvement project. All starts by getting in contact with the experts at Loan Pronto. Go to loanpronto.com today or call 619-207-4336 or again, loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781. Subject to lender approval, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Hey players, things are about to get real here in San Diego. Introducing the all-new Jamul Casino Resort. With a 200-room hotel tower, exciting new eats and drinks, plenty of new places to play, and a luxe spa and salon. Hello, rooftop pool and deck. It's where players can play their hearts out and enjoy all the perks that come with it. It gets real this summer at the all-new Jamul Casino Resort, the player's place.
Wondering what's in that air fryer right now.
Hash browns.
Hash browns at the moment. We'll find out in season. Sammy.
Hot Pockets. I doubt it.
Owner of an air fryer is going to join us.
Sammy's eating a Hot Pocket.
Right. Or hash browns.
7:30 in the morning.
Can you put a Pop-Tart in an air fryer?
You can.
I think so.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, we'll find out coming up after a check of traffic with Kelly here on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danek.
Traffic is sponsored by Eliminate Termite, the orange oil experts. We are seeing a lot of the usual slowing in the usual spots, but very few incidents or accidents. Just this one in the North County. Tow truck helping to clear East 78 before Rancho Santa Fe over the right shoulder. Have termites? Eliminate Termite inspects, treats, and repairs termite damage, all with a full structural warranty. Their orange oil treatment is safe for people, pets, and the planet. No tent, no move out. Protect your home naturally. Schedule a free inspection at eliminatetermite.com. I'm Kelly Danek with Ben & Wood, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Sorry, I'm Venmoing Woodsy for the half of the price of Sammy's air fryer, which we reimbursed him for after he bought it himself, and we promised we'd get him for it. So
a lot of money changing hands.
Thank you, buddy. There's your reimbursement. Sammy, what have you made in your air fryer so far?
Tell us all about it, buddy.
I'm debating whether giving you the real answer or making something up. The truth is, you spoke to me on Friday, right?
Yes.
So the Padres have been home every single night since the last time we spoke. I have not made a single thing yet in the air fryer. In fact, I have not even done the pre-use cleaning of the baskets. So that is on the to-do list today, and hopefully tonight I'll use the air fryer for the first time. But this is a good opportunity to the great tier ones and our thousands, millions of listeners here on 97.3 The Fan. Hit me up with your air fryer ideas and recipes. You know where to find me on the social medias. And I welcome your ideas as somebody who has never owned an air fryer before. But the real honest answer is it has not yet been touched since the last time we spoke.
Wasting counter space as we speak. Jocelyn says air fry the Costco rotisserie chicken to make the skin crispy. You're welcome.
Oh, okay.
First idea right
Costco
there. Costco
membership first, but yes.
You can use mine that I pay double for every year and never use.
Scan them now on
It can pass for me. Sammy can pass.
Really?
Fake ID. Yeah. Yeah. Wait, who's insulted here? Me or Sammy? Who should be more insulted?
Just two very different looking people.
You put a ball cap on. It's the grainy picture. You can barely tell. I'll see if I can find my card. My executive platinum. I literally go once a year.
I know. Maybe. It's not that you. I mean, it's not that he doesn't deserve.
You're telling me Sammy couldn't pass for that guy? In a heart. Oh my God! Sorry. Butterfingers.
Can I show this or?
Sure, you can show it.
I'll hide your number, but let's see.
Put that hat on. Yeah, it's blurry.
Maybe
he could pass for me. I was a little chubbier then, Sammy. Not saying you
doesn't look like Sammy at all.
They're not gonna. What are they gonna do? Throw you in jail? Be like, oh, this is my
revoke your membership.
This is my roommate.
You're out your $50 or whatever. Executive even more.
All right, Sammy, I pay like whatever. I'll sell you mine for half price. How about that? Wheel it. Okay. I never go. I always want to go, but I never.
Do. I've always wanted to get a membership and enjoy some of the benefits and the gas and things like that.
Yeah.
But the truth is, I mean, I live on my own. I don't have a ton of storage space, so I don't need the large toilet paper thing. I don't need bulk of anything. Quite frankly, I don't have space to really put it.
I think you'll pay for it though. Here. I would say once within 3 months. Yeah. I mean,
I go every week.
There's items that aren't so large, or there's items that stay fresh. That I mean, I think you'll find it fairly useful if you go and check it out. That's my 2 cents.
But he's been such a busy beaver with these San Diego Padres, Sam.
Yes.
They're keeping us all. I mean, look, like I'll be completely honest with you. I'm kind of out of things to say about this team right now. I really am. Like, there's only so many days you can come in here, and which I love. I will take this again for 162. It's hard to come in every day and be like, what's a new spin that I can put on, these guys grinding out wins at Petco Park and losing only one time at home since the season started. It's getting difficult. I feel for kind of the beat writers right now. There's no drama. There's no, nobody's on the ropes right now. It's just like every day, like, grinded out another dub.
Yeah, I think it is, at least through 19 games, there just isn't much to really complain about, which is a wonderful feeling as a baseball fan. I think we all understand over the course of 162, there will be twists and turns to this thing. They're probably not going to win 15 out of every 19 games the rest of the season. But you're right, Woodsy. I mean, as we talk on this Thursday morning, what do you point to that hasn't been good? And I think the one thing you could have looked at on the road trip was the starting pitching when you had those shaky starts by Pivetta and Hart and Randy Vasquez. But after that road trip, even the starting pitching has been terrific. Kyle Hart coming off a great outing, his last time out against the Rockies. He'll start tomorrow in Houston. That'll be interesting for him tomorrow to see how he follows up a really good outing and faces what is a good Astros team on the road. Obviously, if you take out that start for Nick Pivetta in Chicago, he has been sensational so far. So you can look at the starting pitching now, which for the most part has been really good. The offense continues to produce. If you want to get really picky and, get on them for not executing on Tuesday night in the extra inning game, fine, that's going to happen. The Cubs were even worse that day. They just happened to get, one more hit in the extra inning. And then obviously the bullpen guys continues to just be great. I mean, top to bottom, even in the loss on Tuesday, they were outstanding and they were great yesterday once again. So Woodsy, I'm with you. There's not much to complain about, which is a good feeling as a baseball fan. I think we all understand this is a long season. I think the guys in there talking to them this past week, they understand that as well. But to this point, you got to feel pretty good.
I see complaints. I see them. I still see complaints. They don't bother me right now like they usually do. Because I think it, and I do subscribe to the, hey, well, you can always improve, right? Well, you're the best in the world. You're the best. You have the best record in baseball, but you can still improve. And I don't get the sense that this team and AJ Preller and the management here is like 15-4. That's what we were shooting for. We're good. No, I don't get that sense at all. And I think there are some things that you could do to improve your team. And I think they will. It's not getting to me like it usually does because, well, at the end of the day, the results are the most important thing. And they've won 15 out of 19 games. It's tough to complain.
Yeah, I mean, look, you can even just go by the numbers. And I think one of the things that's really interesting about their offense is that they're not relying on the home runs. It's not like they've had a ton of power. I mean, other than Fernando having 6 already, Manny's only got 2. Xander Bogaerts doesn't have any. They're missing Jake. They're missing Jackson Merrill, but just some basic offensive numbers. They're ranked second in batting average at 274, 348 on base percentage, ranked second as well, top 5 in stolen bases. Again, it's not just, I think, the wins. I mean, winning 15 out of 19 to begin the year is terrific. Going 12-1 at home is terrific. That speaks for itself. But the fact that they're doing it without a ton of power, and also the fact that they're playing this just good style of baseball and seemingly have picked up right from where they left off last year. I mean, it's a word, and I've said this to you guys before. We talked about it a lot when I was in Peoria. That word continuity, like you really feel they've picked up right where they left off from the second half of the regular season last year, not just from the winning, but the style of play and kind of the vibe of it all. And we sort of wondered if they would be able to do that. And to me, it's been an even better version of who they were in the second half last year. And especially offensively, they've looked so similar that I think it inspires a lot of confidence that this is not a fluke of a start, that it's a real start. Even if you're probably not going to go 15-4 every 19 games, but I think it's very promising for what this team can be, no doubt.
I think there's one thing that I can at least point at, and you pointed out because I was listening to your Eco Water SoCal Padres pregame show, yesterday. Padres are now 11-0 against right-handed starters, and they're 4-4 against lefties. But they didn't hit Matthew Boyd yesterday really either. They had the 2-run rally, and that was it. And that was an infield single, and a single through the hole by Manny. They're not hitting lefties very well. Now, is that going to tank their season? I don't know, but you pointed it out. I don't know if it was setting the table or what to watch for or the keys to the game or what the difference in any of those segments really is,
One of
Sammy.
my many segments. one of my many segments that I twist information to somehow fit in. Yes.
You're an artist.
You had numbers, though. Like the average against righties was like 300, and then against lefty starters was only like 240. I mean, they're not hitting lefties. And by the way, when Jackson Merrill and Jake Cronenworth get back, helps a little, but they're both lefties. They're not going to hit as well. So there's no real solution to that problem, on the horizon either.
I would say it's something to note. I'd say it's very small sample size. Jesse and I talked about it in the pregame yesterday as well. I think it is a small sample size, something to note, the fact that it's been such a discrepancy between righties and lefties. And it is a little weird for a team that entered yesterday 14-4. They were 3-4 when facing a left-handed starter. And you're right, Ben, it's without Merrill, it's without Cronenworth in the lineup. So I don't know how much to make of it yet. It's so early, and they've been so good offensively in general. But I do think it is something to note with the left-handed starters. And if you remember, if I recall correctly, there was a pretty good span of last year in the first half where, there were. My YouTube might have just went down. I'm sorry.
We hear you though. We hear you. You're frozen in perfect.
I did not realize how low the battery was. I apologize to the YouTube viewers. My goodness. Oh, what a first Thursday.
Hey, listen. It's an off day for you.
How embarrassing. Oh, my goodness. Anyway, small sample size, and I wouldn't worry about it yet. But you're right, Ben. It is something I pointed out yesterday. Is just a little thing to watch and monitor for the time being. But, hey, even though they didn't really hit Matthew Boyd a ton yesterday, I thought there was an article this morning from Kevin Acey that pointed it out, and I talked about it post-game, and certainly Mike Schilt talked about it post-game yesterday. The thing about yesterday that was impressive, just to take the question in a different direction, they did something that they don't typically do, which is walk a lot. They had 7 walks yesterday. 3 of them led to runs scored, and again, it's just a part of this offensive approach that is generally impressive. They don't look for walks, but when they get them, they'll take them, and they can score runs that way. And yesterday, they did a really good job taking advantage of the walks.
Very impressive, and watching them take advantage of really every mistake seemingly the Cubs made. And a lot, look, you can't deny, Sammy, that through 19 games, Padres have caught a lot of breaks, and I mean a lot of breaks. But
are they creating breaks?
Are they creating breaks?
Know.
I think, I do think you create your own luck sometimes, but. Michael Busch has made, I brought it up yesterday, made some great diving stops, couldn't get the handle on it. And the Padres hustling Tyler Wade hauling ass from first to second, beating that throw in yesterday. Like, they're grinding. Elias Diaz going first to third yesterday, just huffing and puffing his way around and ended up scoring a run. Like, they're doing those little things that Schilt always talks about, winning on the margins. And again, you can't, we've said it a billion times, the brand of baseball they're playing is real. And it's the brand of baseball they're playing is also very sustainable, Sammy. Like, if they were relying on the home run, if, Manny had 8 pops right now, and Fernando had 7, and Xander had 5, and, Merrill had 7, that probably isn't going to hold up, right? It's not going to hold up. This is a brand of baseball that you can play for 162. Not always going to win, but you can play this brand every single night.
Yeah, and shout out to Paulie who got me back on YouTube. Now I'm on my phone. Hello to everybody on the YouTube stream. Look, I think the winning on the margins thing, Woodsy, is such an interesting thing and good way to put it. And it's something, I'll make 2 points about it. It's something that we heard about Mike Schilt before even last year, right? When you talk to people about Mike Schilt, people talked about that this guy was a very fundamentally sound manager. He was a guy that was going to preach on fundamentals, a guy that was going to preach on winning on the margins, and they have played that way. They really have. Those things you heard about Mike Schilt before he got hired, before 2024, to me, those things have played out in a really, really truthful way. I mean, it has felt like that. It's looked like that. Even if you heard Mike talk yesterday about the tags, right? Xander Bogaerts makes that tag on the good throw by Elias Diaz. It was a good play on both ends to get the tag down, and obviously a good throw by Elias. But even hearing them talk about something so fine as working on their tags, again, it's those little things winning on the margins that they continue to do the early part of the season. And you couple that with a really good offense and a rotation that has looked really, really good as of late, and a bullpen which has been elite. And Woodsy, that's the recipe for a really good baseball team, right? And it's no wonder why you're sitting at 15-4. So it's been impressive. Again, we could talk in circles kind of about how good they've been, and there's not a whole lot to really focus on as far as anything bad. So yeah, it's a mix of impressive stuff, talent, and I think a real attention to detail and fundamentals in the finer parts of the game, which has been so fun to watch.
Sammy, thank you for joining us. Enjoy your day off, and day and a half really until tomorrow's Eco Water SoCal pregame show. I think at 4:10 for the game against the Houston Astros.
All right, guys. Thanks so much. Sorry about the YouTube snafu.
No worries.
We'll get it dialed in next Thursday.
Enjoy your air fryer today. All right.
All right. I'll try.
All right, buddy.
Send the recipes, everybody.
Sam Levitt. There he is. I'm sure he'll get lots of recipes.
Sammy out here welcoming recommendations. I can't even wrap my head around it.
I know.
I can't wrap my head around it. Well, he's
you get asked for all kinds of recommendations.
I can't wrap my head about asking for more.
I want to bring up what he said at the end about Mike Schilt being a fundamentally sound manager, because I think I've had to change what I think that means on the big league level. Forget what your little league coach told you. Mike Schilt doesn't care if they use two hands to catch a pop-up. Do what you want, make the play. Yeah. That's not what he's talking about. Mike Schilt's fundamentals go beyond, way in the next level of what he's talking about. And he calls it winning on the margins sometimes, but it's the little tiny things. You mentioned it, just like Elias Diaz getting a great read on a ball that allows him to go first to third when most catchers are going to be satisfied playing station to station baseball, taking every inch that the opposing team gives you over the course of the game. And many games it won't matter at all. Yeah. You were going to win 9-1 or you were going to lose 6-2, and that extra base you took didn't matter in the slightest. But every once in a while, in a 2-1 game or a 3-2 game or a 4-2 game like yesterday, those plays do end up mattering. And if you can just flip 3 or 4 losses into wins over the course of the season, that can actually make a huge difference at the end of the year. And that's what Mike Schilt really means when he talks about winning on the margins and his brand of fundamental baseball that San Diego Padres have really been playing now for the really better part of over a year.
He doesn't make them do the alligator hand like I do with my T-baller. No. He doesn't?
No.
Zan, I'm going to need to get that hand up over the glove. I love it.
That's what good teams do.
That's right.
They do. I mean, they already do that. You get to the big leagues, you already do that. It's the little stuff that Mike Schilt thinks can make a difference here and there.
Okay, now, butt down, hands out, alligator. Here we go. Alligator. Let's go. Alligator.
Will Myers in on this team.
Get your glove all the way to the ground and then come up.
Yeah, ground
up ball.
Ground up is huge. Ground up is massive. Stay on your feet, T-ballers. Let's not dogpile our friends. Stay away from your friends. Give each other some space. You don't see Manny and Xander both going after the same ball and diving on top of each other like you will see at field
Sometimes
4.
You see Luis Ariz and Jake Goodwin.
It's true. That's true. That's true. That's true. Baseball ready, everybody. Baseball ready. What if Schilt was at the top purge? Baseball ready. It's incredible. He'd make it one half of a game before they kicked his ass out of the dugout.
Yeah. Remember all the Little League chants during the game?
Oh, my God.
We want to hit just a little hit.
Oh, my God, Paulie.
Got a good broadcast on TV yesterday. We'll get to that coming up next.
All right, we are halfway home on a Thursday. Ben and Woods, 97.3 The Fan. Excellent to be here with you, talking about, well, yes, another Padres win. Ho hum. Here we go again, 15-4 for the local ball club.
It'll never be ho hum.
Sarcasm. Sarcasm. Put that accent in a very weird spot. Sarcasm. That was sarcasm. It's never ho hum. It's insane, is what it is. It truly is. What's happened so far has been beyond my wildest expectations. It's hard to wrap your head around on a daily basis. And each day there's a new hero for the San Diego Padres. And what a world we are living in. I think about a little quote that Xander Bogaerts gave last week. And I think it was in Kevin Acey's newsletter, if I'm not mistaken. It might have been in Dennis Lynn. They all run together at this point. And he talked about when he won the World Series with Boston in, I believe it was 2018. Does that sound right?
Second one, yeah.
Yeah. And he said, I can count on one hand the number of wrong buttons that Alex Cora pushed that season. It just was one of those years. I think that was the year they rolled through everybody, rolled through the playoffs, and then swept the Rockies in the World Series. Like he goes, one hand. He goes, and we're only a few games into the season, but it definitely has that feeling here in San Diego. I've let myself dream on it a little bit. I've let myself dream on the magic, certainly, but I also am a realist, and I know baseball sucks sometimes, and I know that baseball doesn't make sense a lot of times. But I thought that was a cool story.
I do think there's a logical explanation behind that, though. I mean, the 2018 Red Sox weren't lucky. They were a really good team. The 2023 Padres weren't unlucky. I mean, there was some bad luck to it, but they were just not a good team. And when you have a man,
they had good players. They were not
good players, but they weren't a good team. You felt like, all the calls that Bob Melvin made just wrong that year.
Yeah.
And now it feels like all the calls Mike Schilt are making are right. But guess what? Maybe whatever he was going to do was going to be right because he had a good team. Yesterday, we talked about it earlier. Leaving Wandy Peralta in to face Kyle Tucker in the 8th inning in a situation. You could have gone to Robert Suarez for the 4-out save. They've done that many times before. And maybe Schilt comes out, gets Peralta, goes to Suarez, and he just gets the final 4 outs. And we go, wow, that's Schilty. He's got a real pulse on his team, but he decided to leave in Wandy, struck out Kyle Tucker, and it worked out that way too. Good teams find a way to make it work out, whereas bad teams find a way to make it not work out in the end. And that's really the difference. So it's not necessarily always pushing. I'm not trying to take any credit away from Mike Schilt. He deserves a lot of credit, but it's possible that, he's just got good players, and whatever he decides just makes him look smart at the end of the day.
Yeah, no question. I love that. I love that quote from Xander. And I'm sure Alex Cora made a billion bad decisions that year, right? But you wouldn't go out and win a World Series and roll through it like they did. Yeah, you look back and go, yeah, maybe 5 things I remember that he did wrong. But one thing that is always right, if you're a San Diego Padres fan, we are very lucky. We've talked about it many, many times. To have Jesse and Tony on the radio broadcast, to have Scan on the TV broadcast, along with, of course, the GOATs, Mud and Dawn. Day game yesterday, kind of had the house to myself for a while, watching the guys weave their magic into the broadcast was just spectacular. And they had one of my favorite. Yesterday was one of my favorite games to watch. They've had a few recently where Don starts to get going. And when Don gets going, Mud starts to get going. And it just brings me such delight watching them broadcast and listening to them break each other's balls all the time. It is so good. And yesterday was another fine example. And I like when they'll break down a convo, and they had Bob Scanlon on, and Don decided immediately to call out Bob Scanlon for the way that he prepares for a road trip.
It was the question of the game. Go to the link, submit your question for Don and Mud. And I think Scan was like, I'll start off. Why were you giving me so much grief about this upcoming road trip?
It was so good.
And I'm so sad because I missed this entirely.
Oh, you did?
Yes, because I was watching with no sound on my phone because I was on set yesterday recording some promos or IDs or whatever we call them, just like little things when you're watching like The View, and then they come on for like 7 seconds. Oh, we've got big weather on the way. Tune in and ABC 10 News at 4:00, and then I got to record all of those I missed the conversation. I got a text from both of you going, "This is amazing!
Yeah,
what they're
so
doing.
good.
This is so good!" And I'm going, "Oh, I missed it." So what did I miss?
So essentially, Don goes, I gotta call Bob Scanlon out here. He goes, I've been doing this a long time, broadcasting, because you travel a lot, always on the road. And there's a certain method that I follow when it's time to pack for a road trip. And Mud's like, oh yeah, me too. Got a certain method to my madness. And Don will have a list, and he writes out a list before every trip. And so Don packs 2 days before they go.
2 days.
So Don made it sound like he pretty much starts packing as soon as he
gets home,
unpacks from getting home.
Yeah.
Does a load of laundry, and then it's like, okay, now start getting ready for that next road trip.
Correct. And so they left yesterday after the game for Houston and then Detroit. So what, a 6-day road trip, essentially? So Don was packed yesterday. Don was packed by Monday. His suitcase, he probably packed on Sunday. His suitcase was done and packed and ready to go.
Day game Sunday, probably Sunday night. Thing was
packed and ready to go for this trip on Wednesday. And Scan's whole bit was, no, I packed the morning of. And Don and Mud's like, oh no, I'm usually a day before.
Even Mud was like, what?
Well, yeah, the day of the trip. Scan got up yesterday, packed his stuff, and headed down to the ballpark and got on the plane. And I was dying. It was such a real and honest conversation. But Don was like, look, I get it. I'm a little crazy. He's got a full-on checklist that he writes out, and he goes through it. He's very meticulous. And Mud, semi-meticulous. And Bob Scanlon, who is a meticulous guy, packs the morning of. And I wondered, what are you?
I'm fairly haphazard. I will probably one day before throw my bag that I'm going to take onto my bed. And then I'll just stand in my bedroom and think like, okay, first day, what am I doing?
Yes.
All right, what do I need to wear for that day?
That's the Mudley way. Mudley says
dinner. Then the next day, okay, I need something. Okay, then I need something to wear to bed. And then in the next day, what do I need for this? And then am I going to be doing anything athletic? Do I need to bring tennis shoes? No, I don't, obviously.
Well, bring them, because we all do, but nobody ever uses them.
Use them.
I've packed them for every trip I've ever been on.
I need a swimsuit for this trip.
Also bring that, but never use it. I've packed it every year for Arizona.
So
I've never
I'll go through the days of the trip, like plot out some outfits.
Yep.
Try to come up with a couple of things that I can reuse. Like I can wear these pants twice with different outfits, so I don't have to bring so many. And then usually just throw in a couple of extra things at the end in case of emergency. And I need, something gets spilled or something, and I need something extra.
And
then the last minute before I leave, I put in my toiletries because I still need those at home. So those always go in 5 minutes before I leave for the trip.
I've never gone on a trip that I did not feel that I left my toiletry bag at home. Never once. I've never been on one single trip where I went, oh, I 100% remember putting my toiletry bag in. I've also, every time we've gotten on the road from Arizona after fantasy camp, I go, oh my God, I left my toiletries. Oh my God, I left my toiletries. And I have to like pull over or wait till I get home and go, oh, I did bring it. I am a strict morning of. And it drives the missus absolutely.
You pack everything morning of?
Everything.
Wow.
It drives her bat-ass crazy. She will pack for 3 weeks. If she's going to New York on September 1st, she is packed by August 15th. Wow. It is done. And
what if she wants to use some of those clothes over the next couple of weeks?
That's the thing, is like she would rather go into her suitcase at home that's packed, get stuff out, wear it, wash it, repack it, than just pack it morning up. Every trip we've ever gone on, every trip, she's like, and a panic sets in for her, and she like gets really mad. Are you ever going to effing pack? I'm like, yeah, I'll get there. I'll get it. Yes, I'll do it. Yes, I'm going to pack. Anything I forget, I can just buy when we're there. I do that. I'm a big fan of that bit too. Yeah.
That's a good move.
Yeah. I love that bit. So I'm strictly morning up. Like when we leave for Philadelphia, we're going to be going early. We have like an early flight.
Yeah, like 6 a.m. on Sunday.
That day, right? I mean, if you're going to go on an early flight, you have to at least pack the night before.
That one may be a little different.
That one's like a get at the airport at like 4:00 in the morning.
Yeah, that one may be a night before. But if my flight is 9 a.m. or later, I pack in the morning every single time. And I feel like I feel like I'm more likely to forget something if I have 48 hours. It's weird. I have to hone in on the moment right there.
The worst thing you can do, and because I've done this, is pack a day or so before, but think, I'll add that later, though, and then you never add it later because
Correct.
you're like, I don't need to put that in yet. You know,
you did, but you
I'll
didn't.
get to that later, and then you totally forget
What
about it.
do you guys always forget when you pack? Like, is there something that you always forget to bring too much of?
It's usually something small. It's usually like a phone charger.
Okay,
and
something like that.
That you can just get. You can get it at a gas station. You can get it at the hotel shop or whatever. You can get that anywhere.
I am such a notorious. Paulie knows this. I am such a notorious overpacker that I come home with I'd say 12 to 14 things that I never even touch. I mean, I don't even take them out of the bag, but I am like a Boy Scout. I am the most prepared. I've got everything you need in my bag that I packed that morning because I just shove everything in.
We're going to fantasy camp. Yeah, but what if we end up going to a wedding? I need to have this suit.
I need to have this tuxedo just in case.
As a lifelong San Diegan, I tend to forget that other places don't have our temperate climate.
Correct.
And I don't pack nearly enough bad weather, cold weather, rain, whatever for the elements. When I pack, I'm always I got my one jacket, I'm good. But then I wear it in the rain and go, I should have brought a couple of some things to battle the elements, and I never really think about that.
Steve asks in the chat, Woodsy, you are 30 minutes early at least everywhere you go. How do you reconcile to morning up? It's the way that my brain is wired. If I need to have the event, and I need to. I can't piecemeal things. That's why I'm 30 minutes early, so I can get there, collect myself, and go. With packing, it's like I just need to focus on packing. I'm going to do the best pack job ever. I'm going to get everything I need. I won't forget anything. If I spaced it out, I'm going to forget a bunch of stuff.
Goose nailed it. He says I always forget a belt. I forget
the
belts all the time.
I do too.
Don't know why. I just don't think of it. The belt is just like, why did I forget a belt again?
I'd never bring enough socks. Never, ever bring enough socks. I never bring enough T-shirts. I always end up wearing T-shirts over and over. But everything else, I'll pack 7 sweatshirts.
Yeah, it also totally depends on the trip, right? I mean, what are we doing on the trip? But where are we staying on the trip? Because I'm probably not going to use the hotel laundry service.
Correct.
But I will use the laundry at an Airbnb.
Oh, like you wouldn't believe.
So if I'm going for a week, I can get away with bringing 4 pairs of briefs or whatever because I can do laundry.
By the way,
I use boxer briefs.
Briefs is one of those words.
Briefs.
But
what would you prefer? Undies.
Panties.
Man panties.
But
like you can get away on a 7-day trip with 4 days worth of clothes.
Yeah.
If you plan accordingly and can do a laundry.
Yeah.
But if you're staying in a hotel for a week, totally different story. You got to pack extra.
I have sympathy though for people who travel for TV because I've done that a couple of times and having to bring like
gnarly
the formal clothes like the suits and
terrible.
ties.
I did it for years.
Jackets,
then you get into hanging bags because you don't want to fold those in a suitcase.
Traveling as a businessman was the worst experience of my entire life ever. And wearing a suit on the plane so that you could bring it with you where, it was just horrible.
Oh my God. Therapist Sam in the chat says, I just forgot a full formal garment bag. Had to buy a full suit.
Oh my God. Get it tailored, get it all it's just terrible.
On the road.
So yeah, the Scan Man, I'm definitely on Team Scan with this. It doesn't surprise me that Donnie is like that though, at all.
What about the other moment though from Mud and Don?
Yeah.
The yesterday's traditional strike out the side, Don and Mud moment. Say it, Donnie. As he goes through the 3 batters in the remix version.
This is like a rejoin coming back from a commercial break, like an inning or two
they
later.
did it like normal, but I don't think they've ever shown. They have that camera inside the booth where they can show the guys and seeing how into it Don gets. I mean, he was absolutely like eyes rolling in the back of his head.
I mean, he's sold out.
Levels of enjoyment on this.
Carson Kelly, see it, Donnie. John Birdie, all down by way of the I've never actually seen myself do that. That's alarming.
And then he tweeted later, he's like, this is going to be in my head for the rest of my life, knowing what I look like when I do this. Yeah, they're just the best. They're the best. We love them very, very much. Great, great dudes. Yesterday was the anniversary for Don of the pizza throwing incident that happened with Jerry Remy in Boston. Go find it. I'll retweet it from my page. It's spectacular television. Spectacular television. There's no one better. There's no one better than that guy. I know that Kruko and the other guy, they win it every year. It's garbage. It's garbage. Like, there's no one better than Donnie and Mud. Nobody.
We love them so much.
Yeah, so much.
We got such a treat with them, and then Jesse and Tony on the radio.
So good.
Eduardo in Spanish. I mean,
Yeah, the Pizza Day Brawl was yesterday, the anniversary of that. It was just so brilliant.
Speaking of pizza, we got the Roundtable coming up later today, brought to you by San Diego Roundtable Pizza, commercial free from 10 to 11 a.m. with our cast of characters, including Paul Reinl, back this week after Tony was in last week, but Paulie's back on the Roundtable today. So we got that for you coming up at 10 o'clock. Later this hour, Eno Sarah, some smart baseball on a Thursday as well. But up next is a Throwback Thursday. We need a contestant for real or fake. No musical trivia necessary to qualify for our trip to Las Vegas. Call in, be our contestant, 833-288-0973. Play our game of real or fake coming up next, 833-288-0973 with Bennett Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Quickly, let me tell you guys about the brilliant work that my friends over at QC Kinetics are doing. If you live with chronic joint pain, I'm talking to you, and I don't have to tell you. Just I know how bad life can get. My wrists were so jacked up a couple of years ago. Went into QC Kinetics, got 5 treatments, 5 treatments on each wrist, and my wrists they've never looked back. They've been phenomenal ever since, and doing all the things that I was missing out on doing. And that's 100% thanks to QC Kinetics. No question about it. They can calm that debilitating joint pain in your knees, hips, shoulder, and back, get you back to doing all the things that you love to do. Their science is very solid. You can get your life back. That's what it's really all about. If you are curious whether or not you'd be a great candidate for these treatments, no problem. They will give you a free consultation. They got appointments in Torrey Hills and Hillcrest. Call now. Find out how easy it is to get back to enjoying life without that chronic joint pain weighing you down every single day. Now is the best time to get started by calling QC Kinetics at 619-614-PAIN. 619-614-PAIN. I am a lifetime believer in QC Kinetics. Call them today, 619-614-PAIN. Let them know Woodsy sent you, please.
Hey players, things are about to get real here in San Diego. Introducing the all-new Jamul Casino Resort. With a 200-room hotel tower, exciting new eats and drinks, plenty of new places to play, and a luxe spa and salon. Hello, rooftop pool and deck. It's where players can play their hearts out and enjoy all the perks that come with it. It gets real this summer at the all-new Jamul Casino Resort, the players' place.
You okay over there?
Great.
All right. Spent the entire break on the phone trying. It sounded like you were talking to a telemarketer or something.
No, it was Optum RX, our prescription company. They called me twice in the middle of the last segment. What's going on?
An emergency.
So then I called the guy back. He's like, I don't know why we called.
Great.
Great. Super. Yeah, no harm, no foul.
I guess not.
Yeah.
Woods is screaming his birth date into the phone to try to identify himself.
Your birth date. Well, it's July 19th, 1975. I'm sorry, I didn't catch that. It's July 19th, 1975. I'm sorry, I didn't catch that. Over and over and over and
Eventually
over.
became July
19th.
Me and Ben just sitting here.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that.
Get your head right.
Yes.
Because we're going to play a little real or fake.
I'm ready.
And you need to hopefully help our contestant qualify for our grand prize trip to Las Vegas. We got a full board to choose from. Let's get to our Throwback Thursday game.
Some are here for the compelling sports talk with Ben and Woods. Yeah, you can go plow through another donut. It's time for Real or Fake on 97.3 The Fan. Tell the people what they'll win today.
Real or Fake brought to you by Bay Alarm, security and fire alarms for every business. We got you. Let's go to line. Let's go to 3. Is this Charles?
Yes, this is Charles.
Charles, you ready to play some Real or Fake today?
I am.
All right, let's do it. If you can get 4 of 7 right, you will qualify for our grand prize drawing. Not sure we have any qualifiers yet. It is a trip to Las Vegas, 2 nights at the MGM Grand, $150 gift card, and your choice of tickets to either Disturbed, Ghost, or Pantera. Get tickets for all 3 shows right now at Ticketmaster.com. Woods is standing by. He can help you because he doesn't know the category yet. But here's what we've got for you today, Charles. Padres are now in Houston, home of the National Aeronautics and Space Administration,
NASA,
and the Astros, and the Rockets. Today on Real or Fake, I will give you a name. You tell me if it's a real person who has stepped foot on the surface of the moon.
Oh, my God.
Or a fake. In this case, a member of the Houston Astros or Houston Rockets currently. So, real, astronaut who's been on the moon. Fake, current
Rocket.
Astros or Rockets player.
All right, I feel like I know baseball pretty well.
Got
Rockets, not so much, buddy.
Got it, Charles? You ready to go?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Round 1. David Scott. Real or fake? Real astronaut or fake baseball player or basketball player?
What do you think, Woods?
Oh, God bless. I was hoping you knew this one. David Scott. Boy, it
I'm
sounds.
gonna say fake.
All right, let's roll fake.
Fake? Could be a relief pitcher. Apollo 15 astronaut walked on the moon. That's all right. That's just one round. Let's go to round number 2. Harrison Schmidt. Harrison Schmidt. Real or fake?
Harrison.
David Scott.
No, I can hear Ben in the
Let's
background.
say fake.
Saying fake. No,
Is he a
real
rocket?
too. Apollo
Oh, he's an
17
astronaut.
astronaut.
Hey,
That
Charles,
was real.
real quick, if you're listening to the show on the background, can you turn that down for us?
Yeah.
Kind of funny.
Yeah,
but
sorry.
Probably
Yeah,
better
it's
radio if you do. All right, that's all right. Let's go. Here we go. Round
All right,
3.
we're all right.
Logan Van Way. Logan Van Way. Real or fake astronaut on the moon, Charles?
I know this one.
Ooh, what thinks he knows this one?
What is it?
He's an Astro, so that would be fake. Yeah.
So what do you say?
Fake.
Fake and relief
All right,
pitcher
we're
on
on
the
the
Houston
board.
Astros. Maybe the Padres will get to see him this weekend. So you got on the board. You're 1. See if we can make it 2. Round number 4. Reed Shepard. Reed Shepard. Real or fake?
Oh.
I'm gonna say he's fake. He didn't walk on the moon.
Wow.
That's
I
correct.
was gonna
He's
say
a
real.
Houston Rockets guard, not the astronaut that Woodstock. Maybe you're thinking of Alan
Alan
Shepard.
Shepard. That's who I was thinking of. I was like, oh, that's real.
Yeah,
Alan
Shepard
Shepard.
walked on the moon.
That's right.
All right, you're halfway there now.
All right, here we go.
2 down, 2 to go. We got 3 left. Let's try round number 5. Alan Bean. Alan Bean. Real or fake astronaut?
Real.
That's real. Apollo
Wow.
12 mission landed him on the moon, which means we're now 1 away from a victory. All right, let's go. Here we go. Round number 6. Edgar Mitchell. Edgar Mitchell. Real or fake moonwalking astronaut?
Real.
Yeah!
Wow.
Apollo 14. Nice comeback. Went from 0-2 to 4 in a row.
Lord astronaut over here. My
Nails
God.
it in 6 rounds. Congratulations, Charles. Stay on the line.
Boy.
You have qualified for the trip to Las Vegas. Finally, John
Excellent.
Young.
He's a rocket.
He is a astronaut, Apollo 16. So, all right, you weren't that helpful. You got him with the Logan Van Way.
Logan
though.
Van
Very
Way, I
good.
knew, yes.
All right, stay on the line, Charles. Paul will get your information, get you into our drawing at the end of the month.
Excellent. Katy Perry just went to space. She did not walk on the moon.
She didn't walk on the moon. There hasn't been anyone who's walked on. It's only a bunch of white guys. Haven't done it since, I don't know, the 60s or 70s. It's been a long time, but they have a new Artemis program. They're trying to get some more people up to the moon at some point, and eventually people hopefully on Mars even.
I played a lot of Walk the Moon on 94.9.
Oh.
Does that count? Shut up and dance with me.
Speaking of the Katy Perry space thing,
Yeah.
you guys see, how cool was it for our old friend Tabitha Lipkin?
Yeah.
Who just got a job with like Blue Origin. She got to interview Katy Perry like after was it before or after?
I think it was
don't know.
after, wasn't it?
I think it was. It might have aired after.
Would you
it was
guys
filmed
would you
before.
guys do it? I'm
11 minutes in
Nah,
space?
No chance. I can't do it.
I don't know. The view would be pretty cool.
Bro, I almost had a panic attack on a Ferris wheel. You
Yeah.
think you're going to put me
I don't
literally? I was on the
love
ground of a
roller
Ferris
coasters,
wheel, Paulie, like praying to God that he
But I don't
delivered
mind
me safe.
airplanes. I mean, this is more like an airplane that just goes really high as opposed to
Yeah, into
a
space.
rocket. But yeah,
I can't do it. More for you. I'm out.
I think I'm good.
I'm good. I'm out.
All right, we've got Eno Saris and some smart baseball coming up in our next segment. Don't go away. More Ben and Woods on the way on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. GEGE 000466. For a full list of games and rules, play at 7 Mile Casino. Visit 7milecasino.com.
The moon is many hundreds of thousands of miles away.
Yeah.
Not nearly as close as 7 Mile Casino.
I'd be more likely to go if it was just 7 minutes away.
It would be, would
I
you?
think.
The moon?
I think.
Just 7 minutes away?
Yeah.
I mean, it can't be that far. It was 11 minutes to get to space. So,
True.
I mean, you can actually get to space almost as fast now as you can get to 7 Mile Casino.
If you're downtown, 100%.
Yeah.
7 Mile Casino. there's plenty to do once you walk in. It depends on what you're going there for. I like going to play California style blackjack, but the food is a nice perk. They have really, really good food there as well.
It's delicious. Go to Sammy's at 7 Mile. Not only the regular menu, but the 24/7 players menu with the Asian favorites like the Kung Pao chicken, the pork chop that you love so
delicious.
much. And then the Sunday and Saturday brunch, weekend brunch. It's Easter weekend. I know people love their brunch this weekend, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Saturdays and Sundays, award-winning, best in the South County. Many reasons to visit, including the patio, the TVs, the windows, the lights, the view out onto San Diego Bay. Take your pick of wherever you're going, but you should head down to 7 Mile Casino, 7 minutes from downtown.
Hey players, things are about to get real here in San Diego. Introducing the all-new Jamul Casino Resort. With a 200-room hotel tower, exciting new eats and drinks, plenty of new places to play, and a luxe spa and salon. Hello, rooftop pool and deck. It's where players can play their hearts out and enjoy all the perks that come with it. It gets real this summer at the all-new Jamul Casino Resort, the Players' Place.
Rolling on here on a Thursday. Another guest coming up. We got Eno Saris from The Athletic standing by. Why don't we just check traffic and we'll get right to Eno. Talk some smart baseball coming up here on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danek.
Traffic is brought to you by Sedano Ford. Spring deals are on now. Visit SedanoFord.com for details. Couple problems on the coastline. Got this crash south 5 before Las Flores. It's over the right shoulder. Then a stalled vehicle in the fast lane up ahead, right before Cannon. Answer the call of spring with a 2025 Ford Maverick. Just $219 a month. Tariff-free with employee pricing at Sedano Ford La Mesa. But hurry, these deals won't stick around. Visit SedanoFord.com for complete details. I'm Kelly Danek with Ben & Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
It's time for the super polished, yet to be named Smart Baseball Weekly segment with Eno Saris, son of a bitch. Brought to you by 7 Mile Casino, just 7 minutes from the ballpark, by the bay in Chula Vista. Here's Eno Saris with Ben & Woods on 97.3 The Fan.
Good morning to you, Eno. How are you?
Doing great.
Good. Let's start. Well, we're obviously doing great. Our baseball team is 15-4.
Yeah, best team in baseball. No big deal.
And I know, in your line of work, and you're often thinking of things like sample sizes. And I know that 3 weeks of a baseball season is a pretty small sample size, at least individually, for players. What about for a team? I mean, we're watching this, and I guess our biggest question is always like, is this real? We know they're not going to win 15 out of 19 the whole way, but everything that they're doing feels fairly sustainable. Like, not the wins necessarily, but the performances that we're getting from the Padres. And I wanted to get your take on that right away.
Yeah, that's a complicated question. I mean, the simplest thing is that I looked at when like team records stabilize, or where you're getting more signal out of their actual record than what you projected them to do. And that's around 60 games. So they're a third of the way there. However, one of the ways that you project teams going forward is you look at their current run differential. And you just look at how much they're scoring versus how much they're giving up. And the Padres have the best run differential in baseball. But lastly, I'd look at the fact that they're giving up 2.7 runs per game. That's the smallest number in baseball. And I think that's just where the regression will come. Like, nobody gives up fewer than 3 runs a game for a season. So, the bullpen's been great. The rotation's been great. And they've been scoring enough runs that they can have a little regression there. But if that's where there's going to be any regression, it's probably that number.
Yeah, and again, the style of baseball that they play, is one that we've been talking about a lot, and it is a bit against the norm in the modern game, certainly. And we've gone away from the three, trying to go away from the 3 true outcome. There's still players out there that are like that, but the way that AJ Preller has built this team, I don't know, man. It's like it's one of those things that it's probably tough for you to look at, because it's weird. Like, you have these guys coming in. Tyler Wade, great example yesterday. We sat in here and we're like wringing our hands over, oh no, him against Matthew Boyd. There's no way, right? Gets on base 4 times, big hits, right? You can't quantify like next man up syndrome. And the Padres have that in spades right now. And it's really crazy to watch. Every night is kind of a different hero for that team.
Yeah, if I was going to put my finger on it, I mean, one of the things that y'all obviously know, but it is is really remarkable about this team is just that they lead the major leagues in strikeout rate.
Yeah.
Tatis has taken a really big step forward in that regard. Manny's always been good at that. Jackson's always been good at that. Cron's always been good at that. Xander's always been good at that. And then the guys that they brought in, for the big part, are not striking out a ton or have a history of not striking out a ton. So that's a way to keep the line moving. Now, yeah, it is a little different because the rest of the league, to the most part, is chasing barrels and bat speed.
Yeah.
Hard hit rate, San Diego is 25th. Barrel rate, San Diego is, where are they? Why can't I see them? Oh, 27th. Max exit velocity, which is kind of like a measure of your bat speed, they're 18th. So they're not necessarily chasing what other people are chasing in that regard, and it may hurt them at some point. But the key thing about making a bunch of contact is when if you're making a bunch of contact, you're putting a bunch of lottery tickets out there, and so even if maybe your hard hit rate per ball in play is not great, or you don't have the best bat speed, you're going to connect on homers anyway. There's going to be the ones that you just put the right swing on the right ball, and it doesn't have to go out at 120. It can go out at 105 too. So to some extent, what they're doing makes a lot of sense. And, of the last, 10 or so World Series winners, I think at least 5 or 6 of them have had top 5 strikeout rates and have had big improvements in strikeout rates the year before. So this is a little bit about what the Astros did when they started, really going to the top of the league.
Talking to Sarah's from The Athletic. Speaking of bat speed, new piece dropped this morning on The Athletic.
It's so good, man.
By Britt Giroli and Jen McCaffrey. And talking about how the technology, the pitchers it feels like in almost an instant, they went from like 92 was hard to now 92 is kind of slow for a fastball, and it felt like it happened so fast.
Tom House, I watched the piece he did yesterday, said that 118 miles an hour is reachable for a starting pitcher. Or for a pitcher. Did you see that, Eno?
Oh man, I wrote that piece last year about what the top velo was possible. I wish I'd asked Tom House. That's interesting. We didn't have anybody that said 20 at that much. But we did have some people. Well, one person used physics and came up with about the same number, 120 or something.
Imagine.
But Glenn Plysick, a guy who studies injury, was saying, no, we're at peak velocity now. So it kind of depends on who you ask. Like if you ask a doctor who does a lot of TJ surgery, he'd say we're at the peak now.
Right.
But in your piece, you're talking about how hitters are finally having the tools to catch up a little bit. And I just from anecdotally as a golfer, I've noticed, going to simulators and being able to see my swing speeds, I can test to see, okay, if I do this, I can add a mile or 2 an hour. There's things that you can actually do. And with the new TrackMans and different technologies that are available to hitters, do you actually feel like they will be able to make some of the same leaps that pitchers have made in recent years?
I kind of think so. There's still some debate about whether or not bat speed is good. So we're still kind of in like the early goings of, do pitchers need to throw hard? And I think we decided pretty across the board in baseball that yes, pitchers, it's better if the pitcher throws harder, And so you're right. We've gone from when we started tracking this, it was 91.1 in 2007 was the average fastball, and now this year it's 94.1. So that's average, man. So that's crazy. And so this focus on bat speed, I think, will catch batters up to some extent. One piece of evidence is that the strikeout rate hasn't changed in 3 years. So, whether it's the rules or batters catching up. Another piece of example is, when sweepers came out, in 2022 and 2023, they became listed on Savant. And every season that we've had, batters have gotten better at sweepers. They've made better decisions. They see it better. And that's because of things like the Traject, which is a high-tech hitting machine that basically does a hologram of the pitcher. so it feels like you're really facing the pitcher. Things like bat speed training, and now I think the torpedo bats that we all heard about really open the door for all kinds of optimization. And there's a picture in my piece of just the weirdest bat you've ever seen.
It's unbelievable.
And it's like a bat that is created by a scientist, and maybe we'll never see anything like that in a game. But the torpedo, the axe bat, the hockey puck on the bottom of the bat, like they're starting to think about the bat the way the pitchers think about the seams on a ball. And how can I manipulate these seams? The batter's starting to think. Like there was one batter in my story that has like 4 or 5 bats in his bag. And one is like if he's feeling really good. One is if like his arm hurts, or like one is if he's really tired. So he's like optimized his bat to his own like physical well-being. He has like an August bat,
Yeah, one for when you're just worn out.
It looks more like
it looks like
Gandalf's walking.
Yeah, I was gonna say a walking stick of an old man. Yeah, but with this just optimized sweet spot in it. I mean, it is. They've been looking for an edge. Anybody that's ever played the game is always looking for an edge, one way or the other. And we've talked before. We've asked you about corking bats and Super Bowls and all that stuff, making the bat lighter, but actually giving it a little more bounce and all that. Like it's pretty crazy. And I ordered a torpedo bat for my adult league, but I forgot to click order. I did it. Like I did the whole process. I picked it up and I kept looking and it never came. Paulie ordered one too. Is yours on the way, Paulie?
It'll be here Monday.
All right. So we'll see if this thing actually works. But it's funny, man, because, I've got 2 little boys that are obsessed with baseball. They love it. And I'm reading in this about the cool things that they're doing with hitting and how they're trying to make the game more fun for younger players instead of go out, grind out over, hit 50 balls off the tee, then hit 50 front toss. Like they're making it fun for these guys. And in essence, what they're creating is better baseball players.
Yeah. I think that there are some lessons in there for even Little League. There's too many. I'm not looking at the Little League coaches are awesome.
Yes.
They're volunteers and they're doing their best. But some of them might feel that like, oh, there's too much focus on exit velocity at the major league level. I'm not going to bring that to the kids.
Right.
But the thing that Christian Campbell and the Red Sox were doing was they had a tournament style, like a March Madness tournament, where it was about things like who hit the ball the hardest, who swung the bat the fastest, who got the most pull balls in the air, And so whatever your value system is, as a Little League coach, you can learn from this where you say, okay, well, I'm not going to do exit velocity. I don't want these kids thinking about that. But, I did see our Little League coach, he put the curveball machine on for my older kid. Right.
Yep.
And he basically said we're going to count how many you get in play and how many fouls you get.
Yeah.
And the best, it'll be 1 point for ball in play and a half point for a foul. And the winner gets something. He had something in like a pack of baseball cards.
Yeah.
And that's the mentality that keeps players going, because if you're in there just taking swings off a tee or whatever, you're competing with yourself, and they love to compete with each other.
They do so much. Oh my God, they love it. I do the drill where I put them all out at short, and I hit first one to boot one. You're out. You got to go sit down, and they just love it. And it goes for 20 minutes. Sometimes they're out there making plays, and kids. Mostly my kid ends in tears because he didn't win or whatever. Like they absolutely, they love that competition out there. But it's one of those things. Is like hitting balls hard will never be the wrong advice in baseball. Never. Like if you have the ability to hit a ball hard, that's what's going to make you a better baseball player. And I like that they're training for this. I like, it does freak me out a little bit to hear that the Padres are not barreling the ball as much as other teams.
Well,
in fact,
it makes sense,
low.
though. They make contact so much. The brass ring really, is figuring out a way to increase bat speed and contact.
Correct.
At the same time.
And that's where you get, these weird bats. They have short bats, long bats, heavy bats, light bats. And basically what you're trying to instill in them is like this warrior mentality where you're just trying to make contact at all costs. And another thing that I think about bat speed, because the one part that is a little controversial about bat speed is that people say, oh, you can get more bat speed by like opening up your hips real, like just stepping in the bucket and just and just pulling the bat through fast. And if you do a swing that's optimized for bat speed itself, then it might not look good, not might be good for your abilities.
Yeah.
And I would say it's a little bit like Max fastball velo. What I would like is for you to create a big engine. Create the biggest engine you can. Create an engine that can create the most bat speed, that can create the most fastball velocity, and then idle. Live off of that. Then be comfortable. Because if I can throw 98 and I'm sitting 95, 96, I can do that all day.
Yeah.
I know this from running. I sprint and it makes me better at jogging, And so, the same thing for bat speed is I think you should develop bat speed, create as much bat speed as you can, and then find your comfortable swing that's off of that. So be able to swing 75 for major leaguer, but sit 72.
Well, when Tatis is a great example. What he's done this year is different than what he's done in the past. And when they say it in baseball, it's never made sense. Stay within yourself, right? What does that mean?
Yeah.
But he's literally the walking epitome of staying within himself right now, not fishing, not trying to do too much.
Occasionally swing out of your shoes.
But still, when you get that dead red middle end heater, rip at that thing, right? It's cool to see and to watch their approach. Really collectively as a team has been fascinating. I hope it holds up. I hope it bucks all the trends and conventions because it sure is fun to watch.
We got to go. Appreciate it.
Thank
as
you,
always,
buddy.
We'll talk to you again next Thursday.
All right. Thanks, guys.
All right. Smart Baseball, Sarah's brought to you by 7 Mile Casino. And that, you can see, obviously, sometimes with 0-2, you'll have guys choke up a little short in their swing to make contact. So you're going to get less bat speed. But it's always do you go up there and you think, if I see what I want, I'm going to put my
unload on
hardest swing on it.
Yep.
And then sometimes you get fooled, so you get less bat speed because, it's a slider. And then, you're reaching for it, so you're not getting good bat speed on it.
Oh, I can relate.
But then there's just that occasional one where they're waiting on it and they tee off on it. And then you get the 480-foot bomb as well. But you can't be swinging that way every single time.
No.
You're Joey Gallo.
Correct. Correct. Yeah.
That's not fun to watch. No,
that's not fun to watch at all. And those guys are really, really frustrating. The majestic 500-footer is rare, but the guy that goes out and stays within himself and has that approach. Manny Machado, perfect example, going to center field. That's when he's locked, just locked. When he goes outside of himself, tries to do too much, that's when he gets in a little trouble.
All right, final hour. In-studio guest, Patrick Merrill, coach of the Seals. Warren Haynes band tickets to give away, so we'll move up the Rhino Report. Big get for Paulie's Aztecs, the basketball team yesterday. He'll have that and more for you coming up next on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. A comment from Mike on Twitter. After the Padres, I mentioned they split their season series with the Cubs. And, same run, 25 runs apiece. So very evenly matched. And I'm not sure if he was trying to make a snarky comment or just pointing out. He said the only tough team the Padres have played so far. As in, all right, well, yeah, against real teams, they're basically a 500 squad. Yeah.
Whatever, man. You can only play who's on your schedule.
Well, I mean, that's the goal. If you can play well against the lesser teams and 500 ball against the better teams,
you're a winner.
You'll have you'll win 100 games.
You will have a fantastic
You'll win 100 games if you do that. No one ever dominates all the best teams in baseball.
Correct.
At least we've never seen it really in
baseball. We played last year's World Series winner very well in the regular season. Played them very, very well. Not so much in the playoffs, right? It happens. But those teams, the dynastic teams, the teams that, the Yankees of the 90s, they murdered the Orioles. They murdered them. They'd be like, back then when they played them, how many times a season, Benny? 20? Whatever. 18. Yeah, they would be like, the Orioles were 2-18 against the Yankees. That's how you got there, man. That's what you do. You're handling. This is called handling business. And again, the Atlanta Braves were picked by many, including myself, to have a really, really good season. Some may say, Ben, that the Padres are the ones that set them on their losing ways, right? Like, that is a good team with good lineup. They're just not playing good baseball. But I think the Padres have a lot to do with that. I think it's that's the way that it goes. You got to beat those teams that you need to beat.
Yeah, going 3-3 against the Cubs is not an indictment at all. And for the Cubs as well, they should feel good about going 3-3 against the Padres.
100%. 100%.
Those are both really good teams, I think. And, they battled and played evenly, and it was a well-matched series. It felt like it could be a playoff type series in October. And that's why when you get to the playoffs, even a team as loaded as the Dodgers, it's kind of a toss-up once you get to the postseason, because you only expect, even if you're that much better, then maybe in a 7-game series, you expect to win 4 and the other team should win 3.
Right.
But you're not going to dominate other teams every single day. I mean, they didn't even dominate the Rockies the last couple of days. They won by 2-1 the last couple of days against the Colorado Rockies. And they're the Dodgers. I know they're not playing terrific yet, but still, baseball is always a game of slight advantages, not overwhelming advantages from one team to another.
Yeah.
All right. Just wanted to throw that point out there. We will get to more baseball, more everything coming up. But right now, Paulie's got some headlines, a little early edition of the Roundel Report.
And get things started here with our today's edition of the Roundel Report.
Now tuned into the greatest.
Welcome to the Reindl Report with Paul Reindl.
Hi, Paul.
All right.
2 stories from the world of sports that we haven't gotten to yet.
We'll start off in Major League Baseball.
And 1 story that you didn't know you needed.
Are you laughing, biatch?
It's the Reindl Report.
Hey, Paul, how you doing?
Okay, how are you?
On 97.3 The Fan.
Are you ready to bless the mood? I need some help, please.
That was good.
Can I get a yeah? Oh, yeah.
All right.
All right.
All right.
Gentlemen, let's start off with some hoops and pay off the tees. Good news for San Diego State yesterday. They got a new commitment from LZ Harrington. He's a high school player who had previously committed to USC after previously committing to Harvard.
Now, before you get all freaked out, right? And these kids these days.
He's just chasing more NIL money.
Like, because I'll be honest. Ben told me that this morning. I go, wow, man, is this a guy that you feel like? And Ben goes, just stop you right there. What happened?
So his dad, they live in Southern California, has brain cancer.
Yeah.
And he decided he didn't want to be that far away from home, which is why he decommitted from Harvard to go to USC. Now, I'm not sure about why the switch from USC to San Diego State, but he's still in Southern California. And I love this. He said growing up, his dad's advice to him was always be good enough to go to Duke and smart enough to go to Harvard.
Wow.
And he was. Cool. He was smart enough to go to Harvard, and I don't know if Duke offered or not.
That's pretty great.
Wanted to stay. He's going to a pretty good basketball school at San Diego State as well. So That's pretty cool. LZ, which is ELZIE, not like the letters L and Z. LZ Harrington, St. John Bosco, which is a good basketball school.
Why didn't you shoot for East Coast upper crust Ivy League, Benjamin?
I did not want to go that far from home.
You did.
I did apply to Stanford.
You did?
I did.
Did you not get in?
Did not.
Really?
I did not. It was the one place I was rejected.
Wow.
Got into UCSD, UCLA, Berkeley, but I did not get into Stanford. But I decided I really liked Pomona when I went and visited it, and that's where I went.
Would you have gone to Stanford had they
probably
accepted?
Probably.
But that's also far from home.
A little further.
Is it it's further than Pomona, right?
Oh, did you have tried to golf at Stanford?
Area. I would not have been able to play golf at Stanford. On Tigers team, no.
I was going to say.
Same year. We would have been the same year.
You're joking,
really?
right?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's incredible.
Yeah, we were born a month apart.
That's incredible.
Wow. Would have both been freshmen. Maybe I would have been roommates, assigned as Tigers freshman roommate. But I would have never made the team or even been given a second look like I could at Division III Pomona. So.
Mike says, Pomona over UCLA. I'm confused. If you got into UCLA, why didn't you go to UCLA?
Again, I just really like the smaller school feel when I got up there. And I think I made the right choice because I got to do some things like golf that I would have never gotten to do at UCLA either.
Think about the co-eds at UCLA as opposed to Pomona. That was what I
mean, we could drive over to UCLA.
That's true.
About 35 minutes away or so.
That's fair. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Did you?
We went a couple times. We went over to the west side, go to the movie premieres and stuff.
Yeah.
Wasn't big going to like college parties in my own college. So I wasn't going to drive 45 minutes for one either, but
makes sense. I could picture you like at a Yale.
Yeah, I had friends who went to Harvard and Yale. And
I've never met anyone that went to Harvard or Yale.
All the Ivy Leagues. And pretty much MIT. I had friends that went to all of those schools, and sometimes I felt a little
lesser than,
because they were all going to the big snobbiest of schools. But Pomona's a really good school.
Did
not
they
as,
make
not
you
as famous?
No. Did they make you feel?
No, they didn't.
Oh,
They were good friends. They knew Pomona was a good school. They understood it, even though other people may not be as aware.
You at Berkeley would be the greatest thing of all time. Of all time. Yeah, I would have loved to see what you would have looked like.
Loose cannabis?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Lots.
But now, good news for San Diego State. LZ is a 6'5" guard. And depending on where you look, Rivals or ESPN, he's a top 40, top 50, top 60 prospect.
4 stars
nationally.
for sure. Everyone has him as
4-star.
4-star, which is pretty rare for Dutch. I mean, he's usually targets the 3-star, 2-star guys, but this is a real 4-star recruit.
No, he's a stud. And one of my buddies sent over like the expected roster for next year. It's disgusting.
It's nasty.
Like
dude.
it's a top 15, top 20 roster.
I saw
and
the
I'm
tweet.
like, I look at it and I go, how the hell does Dutcher get all of those guys minutes?
I know.
I don't know how it works out, but should be fun. Okay, over from college basketball to college football. Look, this is in no way a slight at his career, but good riddance because Lee Corso has called it a career. He has been horrible. I love college game day.
We're all gonna get old one day.
Yes.
So don't hang on for too long.
It's my greatest fear.
That's all I'm saying. I love Lee Corso. I really do. He's fantastic. He's been really difficult to watch for the last couple of years. And he has decided.
How could you feel that way?
Huh?
How could you possibly feel that way?
Right.
I would never think that.
I hate.
He would be 90.
So don't.
You know me.
Don't.
He turns 90 in August, so it would be 90 years old up there on the booth.
You're being ageist, both of you.
No, I'm not going to be ageist. Was he ever that good?
Wasn't he good?
I thought he was entertaining.
I don't know if I ever liked his shtick or really was ever that into
how about
Lee
this?
Corso at all.
F you, Ben. He is 286 and 144 in his 430 selections. I'd say that's pretty good.
That's pretty damn good.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not picking against the spread, so there's oftentimes.
Are they not? No, I guess they don't.
No, he just picks the winner.
Yeah, it's true. He just puts the mask on. Still, I mean,
he was a coach before he was a broadcaster. Had a losing record as a coach, so got into broadcasting.
You guys know it's my greatest fear.
Hanging on too long. You're still half century away from that.
I'm going to leave. I'm going to leave a decade early. I would rather leave a decade early than wait one day too long.
50 years older than you are right now. Can you imagine that grind?
No, he's not.
50. He's 89. 40. You're right. 40 more years. Flying every weekend.
I can't, Paul.
Yeah, no, it's a grind. Yeah.
All right. I tip my hat to you, sir. Great career.
No word on his replacement.
It's Pat McAfee, right? Or is he already there?
Did he keep the headgear bets going?
No.
Or
retire the shtick?
Do you retire it with him?
Retire it.
I think so too.
I don't think it fits on anyone else's
Look,
head.
man, it was a difficult, like being honest, it was a difficult watch. You don't want to see somebody up there struggling to speak. You don't.
Yeah.
You don't. And it but I think the people, his defenders, are, well, listen, as long as he feels good and wants to keep doing it, more power to him. But yeah,
I've always found Terry Bradshaw entertaining. Time for him to hang him up.
You're getting there. I'm telling you.
It's not a bad thing. It's just the way the world works.
It's the way that it is. Yeah, I'm with you. All right. Well, he's done. You got one more?
Are they going to have a farewell?
I think they're doing one.
They're going to do something.
I think he's going to be
first.
I think he's going to Texas and Notre Dame.
Yeah, I believe he's going to be part of the first one and
Miami
the official send off.
Miami plays Notre Dame first, but they do play Texas. I thought I saw something about. All right, he's going to do week 1.
I just closed the window, but he's going to do week 1. Yeah. And then finally, this is a little sportsy, but it's also entertainment. One of my favorite series on Netflix are the Untold documentaries. They are phenomenal.
Have you watched some of these, Benny?
Even I've watched ones where I'm like, I hate this subject.
100%.
And you at least have a different appreciation, or
it's
you
really
learn
well done.
something. Like I watched one, I think, on the Paul brothers, Jake and Logan Paul.
Oh, did you watch it?
I watched it. I can't stand them, but when you kind of watch it and learn about their upbringing and their family and their dad, you're like, I can wrap my head around it a little bit better now. But it's still, they put together great documentaries, and they had a trailer earlier in the week for Untold Shooting Guards.
This is
unreal. It goes back to the 2009 story now, 15 years later, of Gilbert Arenas and Javaris Crittenton, who had a altercation in the locker room that resulted in them pulling out guns
correct,
and aiming them at each other.
Yes.
And so I don't know how they're gonna. It was one instance, but they're gonna make this. They're gonna stretch this out into a mini documentary.
Say what again?
Yeah, say what again?
I dare you. I double dare you.
Double dare you. Arenas was apparently
on Christmas Eve, by the way.
It's on Christmas. Wait, what?
It
was on Christmas Eve. Yeah. Apparently, Arenas was a real. He was a real cut up in the locker room, and not in a good way. And he really drove people like crazy in the locker room. So I saw the preview of it. I went, "Oh my god, I gotta watch this." They did the murder of Aaron McNair. That was so. Did you watch any of these?
I haven't watched them.
On Untold. Oh,
no.
You got to check it out.
Love it. Johnny Manziel.
Oh, that one was great.
Florida Gators. They did the Malice at the Palace was the first one they put out, and it was brilliant. It's really good. They've only done like 6, 10. They do like 2, 3 a year, but this one looks super good.
They also have announced there will be one about Brett Favre off the field and all of the scandals that he has been a part of. I was reading about it. People are a little skeptical on the Brett Favre one because they do come off as a bit of a puff piece. These untold stories. So it's like, are you going to really tell the Brett Favre story? Or are you going to tell the Brett Favre story that Brett Favre wants you to tell?
Correct.
We don't know. But yeah, Shooting Guards comes out on May 9th, I believe. May 6th.
So good.
May 6th.
I'll be watching that the minute it drops.
Yeah.
Maybe one day there'll be an unauthorized Ben and Woods documentary.
I hope not.
The untold story of Ben and Woods.
There's really no untold
all of
stories.
our stories.
We tell most of our stories on this show.
We really repeat our stories.
Yeah,
quite often.
Repeating ourselves all the time, constantly. I love this brand of baseball. This team's great. I'm tired of the same stories.
Padres have a new story just for people just announced. This is always the event. I've never gone to this one. Is that we didn't do this one once? That was a different one.
No,
right? We did a different one.
We would never.
Don and Mud gets to do this one.
Yes, we would never be asked to
They've
this
just
event.
announced the 4th annual Dinner on the Diamond, returning to Petco Park with T.I. as the main performer. He's going to perform his chart-topping hits on stage. It's going to take place Thursday, July 3rd, Petco Park, 6 p.m. Event will be highlighted by an elegant gourmet dinner curated by Michelin-starred chef Drew Deckman. Tables hosted by players, coaches, team execs, alumni, cocktail hour, TI, live and silent auction. They always have fun things. Fireworks as well. This is pricey. Let's see. $15,000 donation for an alumni table. And a current player table is a $25,000 donation.
This is why God would never let me be rich, because I'd be like, we're going. It's on me. And my wife would be like, you just spent $75,000 for you morons to go to this dinner? I'm like, yeah, we're going. Absolutely. This is why I'll never.
That's table for 8. I mean, for the $25,000, if you want to sit with Dylan Cease at the dinner. But it's out there for anyone.
I'm sitting with Tyler Wade. That's who I'm sitting with.
Any tier ones who has a little cash to burn.
All right, we got a couple minutes before break. I was talking with my wife yesterday. We saw the plane, the bus pictures of the players walking out of the tunnel, and who is the most fun on the team? That if you're going to go on a cross country flight, who would you want to sit next to?
Somebody that didn't talk.
This could be a round table question.
Save it. We'll do it on the round table. Do it today.
Could do it today on the round table.
Do it today.
Happy flight.
Which Padres player would you want to sit next to on the flight?
Who brings the fun, or like who
what
do you want to talk to?
What are you looking for?
Whatever. It could be different for everybody.
What are you actually looking for in someone who sits next to you? Silence, right?
Yeah.
I don't think those flights. I think they're having some fun.
Maybe.
I mean, I'm sure they are, but do I want to have fun on a flight?
That's the thing. Do you want to have fun? That's a good roundtable question. It's a thinker. Arise would be fun. He would be really fun.
You want someone who smells good.
Oh, yeah. That would be Campusano.
He's right.
The best smelling human I've ever smelled. I walk past
Probably
him.
Be pretty quiet, too. I think Campy might be the perfect person for you to sit next to you. Smells good, doesn't talk a ton.
Probably has his Penn Higgins with him, you know? Yeah.
Arise was on my list. Jason Hayward was on my list.
Shilty,
Tyler Wade was on my list.
Somebody says Tatis. I think Tatis would be on his phone all the time. The whole thing.
Yeah, I could see that.
I think Manny. I think they do a lot of card games.
See, I think Manny's like the ringleader. I think he cuts loose.
I think he does too.
Things like
stressful.
that.
Yeah, well, he's playing $30,000 hands or something. Here's Ben over there, like.
Megan was like, "Oh, I don't think Manny." I was like, "No, I think behind the scenes, I think he cuts loose. I think he's like the ringleader for all that. I think he's the bookie for their bets,
100%,
and their card games,
fantasy football, organizes the league.
It's like Manny or Joe. I think kind of run that stuff.
Who's the raw dogger on the flight that just stares at the back of the seat the whole time?
Jesse Agler.
Jesse, just staring at.
Would you want to sit next to Mud on the flight?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
No.
Not a chance.
I'd sit next to Mud on the way to San Francisco. That's about as far as
Arizona.
Arizona. Yeah. The rest of it, I'd be like, I'm begging you. Leave me alone. Oh, you remember the Blues Brothers? Check this out, buddy. I've seen the Blues Brothers. I didn't even like it that much. I don't want to see videos of it. God, I'm begging you. I've seen every scene, Mud. You don't have to show me the Blues Brothers again.
All right, we got to take a timeout. When we come back, we'll give away those tickets to Warren Haynes Band at Humphreys. We got an in-studio guest coming up as well. Don't go away. Ben and Woods continuing after a check of traffic on 97.3 The Fan.
But first, my friends, let me tell you about my beloved Sedano Ford. You guys know how much I love Manny Sedano and my friends down at Sedano Ford. Ford been the brand of the Woods family for many, many years. Driven many a Ford in my day. And Sedano Ford in La Mesa, they got killer deals right now. Make your spring even sweeter. And right now you've got a shot at their employee pricing. That's the kind of insider deal normally reserved for the folks behind the scenes. Now it's wide open for you. And one of the hottest offers going right now is the brand new 2025 Ford Maverick for just $219 a month, tariff free. That's real value on a truck that works as hard as you do, looks sharp doing it. I'm seeing these things everywhere in my neighborhood now. Compact, capable, loaded with style. It is perfect for your everyday drive or your weekend adventures. The new Maverick is really, really incredible. You got to check it out. You can swing by Sedano Ford in La Mesa, look at it for yourself, or keep it simple. If you're at work today and you're thinking about getting a new car or truck, just go to SedanoFord.com, get all the details, all the offers, and to claim your spring deal before it is gone. Again, check out SedanoFord.com for complete details. Let them know if you do stop by. Hey, Woodsy from 97.3 The Fan sent me in. I heard you guys will take good care of me, and I promise you they will. Check it out today, SedanoFord.com.
Hey players, things are about to get real here in San Diego. Introducing the all-new Jamul Casino Resort. With a 200-room hotel tower, exciting new eats and drinks, plenty of new places to play, and a luxe spa and salon. Hello, rooftop pool and deck. It's where players can play their hearts out and enjoy all the perks that come with it. It gets real this summer at the all-new Jamul Casino Resort, the players' place.
This hour of Ben and Woods is brought to you by Frozen Ropes San Diego. Hey, parents, here's a message from Coach Kurt at Frozen Ropes. Is your child 6 to 12 years old? Then Baseball Summer League is the perfect fit for your player. Starting June 16th through August 17th, Summer League includes 8 practices and 8 games. Register by April 30th and save $100. Go to SanDiegoFrozenRopes.com. We've got some in-studio guests coming up in our final segment. As you may have heard, Woodsy having his final, at least regular season game as the public address announcer for the Seals. And it's tomorrow night at Pechanga Arena. You got Albany.
Yeah.
Albany or
Albany Firewolves.
The Firewolves coming in,
man. Oof.
And we just confirmed it's essentially a playoff game before the playoff
Pretty
game,
much.
because if they win, the Seals are in the playoffs, and if they lose, their season is over. So essentially the playoffs starting a week early for the Seals. So that's a big one.
Huge game.
Yeah, and we will talk Seals coming up in our next segment.
Now, they play a playoff series, or are they
Yeah,
3
games?
Not the first round.
No,
First
first round's 1, and then 3 after that.
So if they win tomorrow, you're not necessarily guaranteed another game.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so it was one of those deals where it was like, do I wait or do I just,
You don't want to wait and hope they get into the playoffs and win enough to get a home game.
I'm happy to come back and be like, all right, my bad. We're back for a playoff game.
Right.
That would be good. But it's great. They're doing special tickets too, discounted ticket offer if you guys want to come out. Let me get the details for you, and we'll talk about it in the next segment. But it's going to be an emotional time, man. I love that team. I've left it all out there for sure, like with those guys, and just it's going to be a fun night. And the ticket sales have been really good, so it's going to be jamming.
Quickly, we didn't really go through the rest of the league in baseball yesterday. We did go through the records of the NL West teams and mentioned that they have the top 4 records now in baseball. Are all in the NL West. Giants beat the Phillies 11-4. Jung-Ho Lee is hitting well. He's got an OPS over 1,000, had a couple RBIs last night. Diamondbacks hit 4 home runs and a 6-2 win over the Marlins. Dodgers got off to 7 runs in the
7-1, yeah.
And then almost blew it, but ended up hanging on for an 8-7 win over the Colorado Rockies last night. Cardinals beat the Astros 4-1. So the Astros, Padres, we'll talk about it more tomorrow. But here's a little fun fact for you. The Houston Astros have alternated wins and losses since April 2nd. Loss, win, loss, win, loss, win, loss, win, loss, win, loss, win, loss, win. Loss. So they're due for a win, but maybe because they lost yesterday. But hopefully the Padres will hand them a second loss in a row at some point.
And then another one after that.
Otherwise, they'll lose the series because they're scheduled for win, loss, win for the next 3. They keep going on their current trajectory, which is weird.
Whatever you do, don't call it a roller coaster.
No, it's teeter-totter.
It's a teeter-totter.
It's a teeter-totter.
Oh, what a nightmare for those fans. We've been there. We've been there.
See, the bench is cleared between the Nationals and the Pirates.
Bro, I saw this. It was
Jorge Lopez.
So he buzzed the tower on, of all people, Andrew McCutchen. And I thought, well, what prompted this? And they mentioned McCutchen hit a big homer off of him when he was with the Cubs last year. And I'm like, is this guy really upset about a homer last year? And it's Andrew McCutchen. He did not throw his bat in the stands. He didn't gesticulate wildly. He ran around bases, fist pump, whatever. It was a big homer. And I thought, man, if you buzz the tower on Kutch, like
one of the most
beloved,
players
that's
in all of baseball.
And it was, and guess who they had to hold back from getting in a full scale brawl.
Did he play for the Padres a few years ago?
Everybody else was pretty chill and doing the normal, hey, back up. It's cool. Let's not do this. And Tommy Pham was fit to be tied. They were holding him back, and he's pointing and like, I'm coming after you.
He knows Muay Thai.
He does. He has a friend. He owns a gym.
I'm proud of myself.
Yeah, proud of himself.
And I'm a very good fighter. I don't do Muay Thai, Kung Fu, and box for no reason.
That's right.
Is that Jock Peterson?
Yeah. I love it.
This is the reason. The bench is clear. He's ready to go. I love it. Ready to test out those skills
every time
he's been working on.
Every time. And but anyway, O'Neal Cruz comes up, and really it's the best revenge. Instead of socking a guy in the mouth, you hit because he got ejected. you take the next guy deep for a grand slam, and that's exactly what O'Neal Cruz did.
Very Hendriks and Profar vibes. Somehow it's always happened to the Nationals.
I know.
Like,
God, maybe it's their fault.
We're doing this again.
Yeah, maybe it's their
the
fault.
Pirates this time. Speaking of grand slams, Jackson Holliday had his second, I believe, of the season. Orioles beat the Guardians 9-1, and Cal Raleigh hit home runs from both sides of the plate. We call that the Ken Caminiti here in San Diego. 100 career home runs. The Mariners beat the Reds 5-3, and Boch won on his 70th birthday yesterday. Happy birthday, Bruce Bochy. Rangers beat the Angels 3-1.
Excellent.
All right, we will talk to the Seals coming up in our next segment in studio. First of all, let's give away the tickets to Humphreys. They've got the Warren Haynes Band coming to Humphreys by the Bay on May 14th. And if you call now, you can win tickets, and not only tickets, but the grand prize, which is a Warren Haynes Band premium fan package, including access to the pre-show sound check. Tickets and premium fan packages are on sale now at Ticketmaster.com, but we're giving them away right now to the fifth caller at 833-288-0973, 833-288-0973. Seals coming up in studio in our final segment before the roundtable next year on 97.3 The Fan.
And quickly, let me tell you guys about Underdog. I've been telling you about Underdog. Going to tell you about Underdog again. One of the best places to make picks during the basketball playoffs with their extender promo. With the extender, you can play your way to increasingly bigger boosts each round of the playoffs. You start a playoff series by using your game one boost, continue boosting each subsequent game to unlock the next one. Longer the series, the bigger the boost. So it's a lot of fun. Been having a blast picking higher or lower on I've been playing a lot of baseball, but if it's the NBA playoffs you're interested in, man, they got you hooked up for sure to play. All you have to do is download the app, choose whether a player will go higher or lower on things like points, assists, so much more. Absolute layup, guys. Just download the app, pick higher or lower on players. Again, super, super simple. Once your picks are good, you can play with as little as $1. If you get everything right, you can win up to 1,000 times your money. So go in, download the Underdog app today, and when you sign up, use the promo code WOODS. You'll unlock a special offer of up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you make your first deposit. That's promo code WOODS. Got to be 18 and over, 19 and over in Alabama and Nebraska. Present in the state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/extend.html for details. Concerned with your play, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org.
Hey players, things are about to get real here in San Diego. Introducing the all-new Jamul Casino Resort. With a 200-room hotel tower, exciting new eats and drinks, plenty of new places to play, and a luxe spa and salon. Hello, rooftop pool and deck. It's where players can play their hearts out and enjoy all the perks that come with it. It gets real this summer at the all-new Jamul Casino Resort, the players' place.
All right, final segment of Bet Ben and Woods on a Thursday, but don't go anywhere because coming up at 10 o'clock, we will move over to our sound space for our hour-long commercial-free San Diego Roundtable Pizza Padres Roundtable and discuss another great homestand for your San Diego Padres coming up in just a few minutes. But for Padres fans, you might be interested to know that we have a Merrill in studio.
We do.
Coming
an actual
up live
Merrill here.
right after a check of traffic. Traffic here on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
Wrapping up with a couple of problems in the North County. Stalled vehicle south on 15 before Miramar Way. It's in the center divide. And I got the collision partially blocking the El Camino Real on-ramp to westbound 78. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben and Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Our in-studio guest is the head coach and general manager of the San Diego Seals, Patrick Merrill, who actually is old enough to be Jackson Merrill's dad.
Yeah.
At this point. That's not an insult. He's only 21. So, I mean, I'm old enough to be his father as well. You're not related to the Merrills of Maryland in any way, as far as you know, Patrick?
And no, not as far as I know, but I've been taking full advantage, around the city lately. Actually, I was asked if I was his father a couple days ago when I was picking up my rent-a-car, but definitely getting some more better reservations at restaurants and things like that around town.
You got to milk it.
Yeah, I got to roll with it.
You have to milk it, man. It's bittersweet, obviously, like being the last game for me tomorrow. I just wanted to tell you guys, I've had such a blast, man. Like the greatest time of my life. Mike Grace is here. And he's the one that pitched me on the idea years ago when we had just started at the Mighty 1090. And he asked me, I said, sure, I'll try out. And then I panicked. And I go, no, I'm not doing it. I called him back. I said, I'm not doing it. And he's like, bro, please come and try it. I embarrassed myself fully. And I ended up getting the gig. And I had no idea what to expect, but I was looking through some old pictures the other day and I brought Bo out to one of the first practices, and he was a baby. Like he's a little baby, tiny, he barely talk, and he, go Seals and all that. Like we grew up, my kids grown up with the Seals, and my family absolutely loves coming to games. I told my wife the other day, I go, look, I'm going to miss it terribly. I said, but I get to go to games now. I actually get to go to games, and I can sit and I can have some beers. I can beat on the glass, which I do anyway, but without the beers. But I actually get to go and enjoy it. So thank you guys for a really fun time, man. It's been a blast.
Yeah, buddy. You make me a little emotional over here, to be honest.
Me too.
But yeah, I mean, obviously really happy for you and your family, and but it's going to be really weird and not the same, not being able to kind of look across from the bench and see you. You always obviously brought the energy, and we fed off you, and I know the fans did as well. So we're going to miss you, but this isn't going to be your last game.
No,
we're gonna extend your career here a little bit and get you back for a playoff game.
I love it. So give everybody kind of the scenario. It has been like I was talking to my wife about it the other day when we were watching the game, and I said, this season, like, expectations are obviously always high with you guys, always, and they have been since day one, and we've won a lot of games.
Mm-hmm.
This year, I feel like the early season close losses, like we've been right there so many times. As the head coach of the squad, kind of what's your kind of view on what's happened this year, and really what to do moving forward?
Yeah, I think it's been I think it's kind of serendipitous that it kind of comes down to game 18, the last game of the season here. So the scenario is we win, we're in. So we're completely in control of our destiny here against Albany. They put us out in the playoffs last year. So the table is set, but it's ironic because, again, I think that's kind of the way that the story of the season, right? We had a lot of new guys We believe if we get in, we're a problem for anybody that we play in the playoffs. But there's so much parity around the league this year, more than ever. More than ever. So if you don't bring it, you can lose to anybody, but we feel like we can beat anybody in the league.
I believe it too. I've seen it.
Is it possible those goaltender pads are just too bulky? Because that was my experience when I was in goal. It was just hard to move around in those things, and maybe could just be a little more nimble if they redesign the stuff.
You're not as athletic as our starting goaltender Chris O'Reilly or our backup goaltender.
Just wondering. It's just my question.
Yeah, I'm glad you said it, Woodsy, not me. But Chris is an athletic specimen. If you've seen him without those pants on. And he can actually do the splits. He's pretty nimble in there with all that equipment on. But
I didn't want to show off. I mean,
they need to be well protected, though, man. That ball is flying at him pretty hard.
What's the fastest? Like we always talk about velocity in baseball.
Oh yeah,
the average velo in baseball. Sarah's just told us is 94.4 miles an hour. Max speed out there.
Yeah, it's usually at 95 to 100.
Jeez.
Yeah.
That lacrosse ball hurts. It hurts. There's one right here. Let me throw this at you.
No, thank you.
It hurts.
Yeah, but in baseball, the idea is to not hit the person with the ball. And while you're not trying to hit the person, I mean, like the goalies, they're supposed to get in front of that ball every time. So I mean, those are hard. That's why they wear those pads that are so bulky.
It's
awkward.
It's a good team, man. A team with a lot of heart, a lot of fight, good defense. Like there was a game a couple weeks ago. It was the last home game. There were like 14 people in the penalty box at one time. It has never I've never seen it. It was against Las Vegas, and we had the thing about lacrosse that, and I've been calling these games since the team started. I still don't know what a penalty is because I watch some games and I'm like, oh, he's coming in the box. And I'm like, nah, let him play on. Is that frustrating for you as the head coach?
Sometimes, obviously, I'm used to it and the little nuances of it. It's definitely sometimes I scratch my head, but. I think why it's it's just such a physical, fast-paced game. So it's I think that's why it's kind of so hard to call at times, officiate at times, and but I think that's what makes it such an exciting product for people to watch. And I think we have the type of team too that's one of the more physical teams in the league. So our fans get to see that every week. And that's by design, because if you don't play that style, then you can't go deep. That's for sure.
The crowds this year have been insane, like insanely loud and fun and getting into it. It's actually a really bad time to walk away if you're me. But it has been, the crowds have really brought it at Pechanga. I'm looking forward to obviously a really special night for me, Friday night. And for the team, I would love nothing more than to see a win.
Well, speaking of a special night, I understand Patrick has brought along something special. You got something there for Woodsy?
Yeah, I think obviously news has gone around the league that you're moving on and you're retiring. So our buddy Coach Molosky from Calgary is just sending you a small.
Oh my God!
Sending his regards and a small.
Well, we know the story. There's been a few teams and opposing coaches who have thought that perhaps Woodsy was up to nefarious business. In his role as PA announcer. I'm not sure exactly what he can do to affect the game. But
thought I was messing with the play. I have no control over any buttons in there.
Cheater.
Yeah, he wrote the cheater thing. There it is, framed for the rest of my life. There it is. One of the more surreal moments, things that have happened to me in that penalty box for sure. Oh my gosh, look at that! Thank you guys so much, man. Means the world to me.
Patrick, as coach, I'm sure you just love good, crisp passes and, fundamental play. But what's the coolest play in lacrosse? Because I don't know when the shot. What do they call the one where they
around the world, baby?
Around the world. Yeah. That one's pretty cool.
We have one of the best in the world at
behind the back
at some creative plays in West.
Absolutely. I love big hits. I mean, I'm a defensive guy at heart, but I love big hits. But I think the most electrifying play or most exciting play to watch is when guys dive across the crease.
Oh, yeah.
Just to try and score goals and how acrobatic they can be.
Because you can't shoot if your foot is in the crease, but if you jump across it and you're still in the air, you can just basically like a dunk in basketball.
But the ball needs to be past the line before your foot comes down. I mean, it's like the detail is crazy, and what these guys are
hang
able
time
to do.
is important.
Hang
actually.
time is really important. It's really
Absolutely.
important. And physicality, it's the I've said it many times about the SEALs. It's honestly what pro sports should be. These guys give everything. They leave it out on the carpet every single time they play, and all of them to a man. Every single game, man. And they may, you're going to lose some, certainly, but it's never for a lack of effort. I've just never seen in every game I've called, I've never seen anybody really loafing, like taking plays off. Like it just, everybody is in sync. It's a really beautiful, beautiful sport. I've fallen madly in love with it and the league and the players and the coaches and everybody there. It's just been
now you played
incredible.
for what, 15? How many years did you play?
15 years.
15 years. Are
Yeah.
those all your teeth?
No, none of them are.
None of them are.
Well, the whole top row is upper
Really?
deck. There is, yeah.
So it's like hockey. It's that common. You
Yeah.
just accidentally take a stick to the face. Is that the most or the ball?
The stick or the ball?
Which is
stick.
What was the gnarliest?
Yeah, I mean, they've kind of added up over the years. The odd fist here and there.
Yes.
too.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love when they drop the
They look
glove.
good though. I mean,
Yeah.
you've got
thanks.
good
Yeah, they
dental
fantastic.
work. You have
They
good
do good work,
dentists. So.
This is great.
See, this
man.
is why I have no interest in lacrosse.
Playing
at all.
lacrosse.
Yeah. Gotta protect these at all costs.
Yes, the moneymaker, as it were, for sure. I get it. No, I've had a blast. It's been such a fun ride, and I've already had people contact me. Where do I apply for to fill my shoes? And I'm happy to help. Whatever you guys need, train them up.
No one can fill your shoes.
Sure, I mean, absolutely. This is
You should say, go a season just in silence in honor of Woods next year.
just an entire game of just quiet. No, it's I'm happy to help train the next person up, certainly, and get them ready to go. But really, it's pretty easy. You just get in there, go crazy, and scream till your throat feels like hamburger meat, which is what I've done for every game. It's been so much fun. I've seen some incredible athletes come through and just fallen in love with the game and the sport and the team and everything. It's been so much fun.
Well, Pat,
we're gonna miss you, buddy.
I'm gonna miss you guys.
Yeah, and thanks for everything.
Thank you guys,
Patrick. Good luck tomorrow. Again, if they win, they go into the playoffs for a road game, and then if they win that one, we'll tell you all about hopefully some home playoff games coming up later in the month or early next month, I'd imagine. But get the job done tomorrow. That's the first job Friday night. And tickets still available. Go to sealslax.com. Is that still the website? Yeah, if you're interested in seeing Woods in his final game and cheering on the Seals. Now, does the other team, are they also a win and get in game for Albany? Do we know, or do they need help? They need some help, but they're not out of it though. So, and you guys they've given you some trouble. They beat you last week, and they've won like 3 out of 4 all
I don't
time.
like them, so we got to bring the heat.
Some revenge is in order.
Yeah, we are due.
All right. Good luck tomorrow. Thank you guys for stopping in. We really appreciate it.
You guys are the best.
And it's good to see y'all.
Thanks for having us.
San Diego Seals, Patrick Merrill, head coach and general manager with us. All right. Got a couple of minutes left. It is obviously an off day for the San Diego Padres. They will be back in action tomorrow. First of 3 against the Houston Astros, and we'll talk more about it on tomorrow's program. We will have Mike Schilt on. It is a manager's report Friday, 9 o'clock, I believe, Paulie, for Mike Schilt tomorrow. And we will have our first weekly segment with our new SDFC and San Diego sports guest, Darren Smith, is going to be with us. Time TBD. Stay tuned for the social media channels and stuff for that. Correct?
Yes.
All right. So that's tomorrow.
We don't have the time locked down yet.
We're still waiting on one other thing before we lock that down, but we'll have it done early this afternoon.
Pitching matchups for the series coming up against the Stros. Tomorrow is going to be Kyle Hart against Ryan Gusto at 5:10. Game 2 is Michael King against Hayden Wesneski. And then the third game is the ESPN Sunday Night Baseball game on Sunday, and that's a good one. It's Dylan Cease against Framber Valdez.
Ooh, that is a good one.
On Sunday. So ESPN gets a pretty good matchup to promote, and the Padres will make their second appearance of the season on ESPN Sunday Night Baseball, and they've given everybody something to talk about. In fact, I would imagine Padres will be somewhat of the focus of that game now after their hot start to the season. Get some more features and stuff on your San Diego Padres on ESPN this weekend because they'll have their their crew out there doing the interviews and everything. So keep an eye out for Padres content on the 4-letter network all weekend long.
Yeah, and we will do a little bit deeper dive tomorrow on the Astros. And I mean, think about the pieces that they've lost. But again, a team that knows how to win. Team that has a tradition of winning. They can be pretty tough. They got good pitching. So I know it's been uneven for them right now. I've seen some of their fans absolutely losing their minds. They did not expect to get off to a start like this. So I'd like to keep them down. They're a little bit down. I'd like to keep them down.
I think they're missing Kyle Tucker a little bit.
Yeah, Kyle Tucker, Alex Bregman, maybe, perhaps.
Saw how good those players are and have been for their new team.
Is Altuve still playing left for them?
I think so.
Is he still out there?
I don't think they've moved him yet.
Crazy. So I'm excited. I'm excited for this entire weekend and what it may bring. But.
And then Padres head to Detroit for 3 against the Tigers coming up. 6-game road trip, and then back to Petco Park again for their 3rd homestand of the season. So yeah, we'll talk more baseball. We'll talk about the Padres homestand that was in our roundtable, which is coming up next as well.
What's coming up on the roundtable today?
Questions that you've already answered earlier this week.
More than likely.
We will skip over some of those questions for you. But it's actually a challenge to come. It's harder to come up with roundtable questions when things are going so well.
I'd be lying to you and the entire audience if I said I wasn't nervous about Mike Schilt coming on tomorrow, because I absolutely am. So 15-4, pretty good. Like what's new? How's Houston? Great, right? I mean, I'm not saying believe me. This is
sexy.
This is a good problem to have. I'm not saying I want him to start losing so we can have things to pick at. I'm not wired that way.
I mean,
want
he
him
should
to win
be in a fairly good mood, I would know. He doesn't care about anything that's happened in the past.
No.
More. At least I will ask him about the earthquake.
Please don't ask him about the earthquake. Please.
Shilty, where were you during the earthquake?
No. Yeah, I heard you were in the locker room interviewing everybody about the earthquake. I hope he gets you tomorrow. Yeah, we're going to ask him, what'd you eat? Where are you eating? What are you doing? Should be riveting.
All right,
way to sell it.
Quick timeout, and then we will be back in the sound space for the round table. Don't go anywhere. We will be back for Ben and Woods tomorrow at 6 a.m. for Paulie. For Woodsy, I'm Ben Higgins. Talk to you in just a moment on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.